Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks so much for tuning to it. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. We're online. ESPNTallahassee.com. Go there to listen live via the streaming free always. Try not to miss anything. Sometimes you miss things, and when that happens, go get caught up all 3 hours to be posted upon the conclusion of the show on iTunes and in our own audio vault. Want to email the show, feel free, jcs at 979espnradio.com. A fine redemption Thursday to all of you. My picks momentarily. On Twitter, it's at JCameronShow, the WTSM app, good for your mobile devices. Hello, YouTubers. I hope you're well. Same with you, Periscopers. We were just listening to the ESPN's Sports Center there, and they were talking about the Davis Cup. Cameron, don't you do it. You bastard. I am in my car.
That's not what you do.
I've got a respite here for a moment, and you're going to lead with the Davis Cup? Is that what you're doing to me on a Redemption Thursday?
You blew it!
I know. I can hear it all. No, there just was a time, man. It's all Tom doesn't remember it. This is where our 15-year difference gets in the way a little bit. He doesn't remember that the Davis Cup in tennis was a big damn deal. There was a famed Mats Wilander, John McEnroe affair that lasted well into the night, 5-6 hours.
That's not what you do.
It was a big to-do. It's like today's Ryder Cup, Tom. It's exactly like that.
Now you're speaking my language.
Man, I remember when McEnroe won and he grabbed the American flag, held it aloft, nearly in tears, and ran around the indoor stadium as the fans went berserk and chanted, USA, USA. It was incredible. It just hasn't mattered. I don't remember the year it stopped mattering, but somewhere along the way, it just stopped mattering. I think like a select few people are like, oh, listen, Davis Cup is starting this week. It's like there's some dude at a cafe in Portland.
Can you guys put the Davis Cup on?
Excuse me? What is that?
Is that like a sailing thing?
What are you talking about? It was a big to-do. Well, America's Cup was a big thing, right? You're talking about sailing. That was a big to-do.
I remember
Very
that
briefly.
Vaguely. My dad always talks about America's Cup.
When I was a kid, the America's Cup was a big deal. And I'm sure to sailboat people, it still is.
Hey, man, any cup we go after, that's America's Cup.
Damn right. It belongs to us. Well, the Ryder Cup is exciting, but I'm not going to go there. I'll come back to all of this later at another time. I know you don't care about the Davis Cup. I'm appealing to 15 people right now. No, please. Expound further on the great Davis Cup matches you recall in your youth, Jeff. I know you do.
That should be the debate today is the Ryder Cup, Davis Cup, or America's Cup. Which one's the biggest of the three in your lifetime? Well, now that's interesting. It would be... no, I didn't mean... That was a joke. That was a joke. Willie Taggart.
No.
Landon Dickerson.
That's good stuff, Tom. Yeah. In my lifetime, it was all about the tennis Davis Cup. But anyhow, I don't think Landon Dickerson's going to play. He's out there practicing. He's not giving it a full go. He's able to get back there. I think the main thing is that he's able to now put some weight on it and give some reps and be back by Miami, which is imperative. If we got any chance at all against that team on the road, he's going to need to play. So I don't even know. I mean, maybe I'm contradicting myself based on my comments from yesterday's program, but I don't even know if I'd want him playing this game because how much, we need him the next game. But then again, I just got done saying yesterday that, hey, man, you win this game, the bowl streak is still on the table. It's still something that's attainable. You could still get to 6 wins and keep the streak alive. Listen, the things that we're reaching for in this particular campaign is not what we had hoped for before the year started, but that's what we're left with, and that's like the last big thing. And if you lose on Saturday to Louisville, I think it's off the table. I think that then all hope is really lost. It's all gone for this season. You win, okay, all right.
Well, like you said, you've kept it interesting through the
you got another month.
Back half of October, yeah.
You got another month, basically, if you win on Saturday. It gives you a month to care, to be invested in something that we care about, legitimately care about. You lose the game, no. You lose the game, you got nothing. Think about how weird this is, Tom. If you lose the game, you're 0-for in the ACC. You're 0-3 in the ACC. You're dead-ass last in your division. You've got very little hope to come out from underneath everybody else at any point in the season in the ACC. You'll be a last-place ACC team if you lose on Saturday.
Well, where were we last year? Were we in last place in the ACC?
Probably.
I have to go look.
At some point,
maybe Wake was below us.
I can't really recall. We did win that war against Wake.
The heroics of James Blackman hitting Auden Tate.
The heroics of Auden Tate.
What was that, about a 50-yard pass?
Man, that shoulder was absolutely shot, and he's out there making plays. It was something to behold. But, yeah, you're right. We blocked things out so quickly. We were 2-5, 3-6 at one point.
We were 3-5 in conference play last year, finishing second to last.
Okay.
Syracuse was in last at 2-6.
Indeed.
But Wake was better than us. Boston College. Yeah. Everybody else, but Wake and Boston College finished at 4-4 in conference play, and we were 3-5 last season.
Jimbo guided us to 3-5 in the conference, did he?
And 5-6 overall. That's what he guided us to.
So a lot on the line Saturday, guys. A lot on the line. Let's get us an ACC win. You come on back with that ACC win. Look at there. Tear a piece of the cloth away off that ACC shirt. Some of that is ours.
And then put some fear in the Canes. We can't blow this, guys. That's what they would be feeling.
They would. If you get to halftime and it's close, you'd get that bouncing around their noggins a little bit. Like, what are we doing here? Come on now. This team's terrible. Let's go. Don't let them win this game because they'll right the ship by next year, and then we're back to just getting our ass kicked again. Picks look like this. It is a rocky road, guys. I don't like the slate. For those of you that rely too heavily on my Redemption Thursday wagers, I'll reiterate, don't do that. I take 10 games. This is for fun. This is for charity. In my real life, these aren't 10 games I'm actually betting. Big Daddy J is not touching all of these games, maybe one or two. And I'm not promoting that you gamble other than for charity with this program. It's a, honor system here. You keep a running tab of what we're doing with non-perishable food items for the charity of your choice. I just don't want anybody to get it messed up because, some weeks I'm great, 8-2. The next week I'm 2-8. Then I'm 5-5. I'm all over the map. When you have to take 10, you're going to have a tough go sometimes because I don't always like 10. Some weekends I like 4. Some weekends I like none. Some weekends I like 38. You just don't know. And they're not all encapsulated here in the Redemption Thursday wagers, so I just get that out there. This slate in particular, I had to reach down deep, down into the cockles to find something that I could muster as a reasonable wager, even for charity, today. Did you look at the slate?
I did.
No, damn sorry,
I got
Tom.
nothing to offer. Because,
All right, Memphis -14 versus Tulane. How about that? See, that's what we lead with. There's a little Memphis-Tulane action out the box.
Now, this is 2 fingers to my eyes.
Yeah, I'm betting this one. Yeah.
Yep.
Memphis is a good card, man. They have an offense that's prolific.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
Like that game right there. If somebody's got the hook on that, don't do it, though. 14's a good number.
Been picking on Tulane a little bit this year.
I have
noticed this.
They stink. I also pick on Memphis on the good because they score. They're good. Okay. Little circle action. Colorado's given 9.5 to UCLA, and while I don't think Colorado's any good, I know UCLA stinks. And this game is in Colorado, and it's single digits. Yes, sir. I'll give the 9.5 to UCLA. They go to 0 and whatever the hell they are currently. Were they 0-4? They'll be 0-4.
Oh boy,
UCLA's awful. Yeah. Now Chip's doesn't have it humming out there. Folks at Westwood are a little upset with what's going on out at UCLA. Duke's given 4.5 to Va Tech. I hate it for Josh Jackson, who I talked to this offseason. Good kid. He breaks his leg. In Virginia Tech, you got to believe, is as downtrodden as you could possibly be. Old Dominion, 28-point-plus underdog, shocks the world with as one-sided and shocking an upset as you'll see in the last decade. And now they lose their starting quarterback. Virginia Tech's reeling. Give me Duke and give the 4.5.
We've been there with the double whammy of a devastating loss, not to Old Dominion, albeit, but a devastating loss, and you lose your quarterback situation.
That's tough, man.
That's not good.
Tough to bounce back. Here comes two fingers to my eyes. I thought, where can I hide this to avoid Tom going, okay, Cameron.
Northern Indiana.
No, it's Georgia State getting 7.5 against Louisiana Monroe. That's a game Georgia State squad at home. I like them getting the 7.5.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
Washington's giving 17 to BYU. I'll give it. BYU won't be able to move the football against that Washington defense. Give the 17 there. This is a forced bet. Southern Cal and Arizona. Battle of two fan bases that are suspect of their head coach currently. One's in year one at Arizona. The other one has been there for a little bit. And while Clay Helton seems to be as good a quality individual as you'll find in the game, his teams, well, they start slow. They start a little slow. They're a little sloth-like to start the year.
They're not made for September.
No. They're giving 2 to Arizona on the road. I'll give the 2. I think Southern Cal's defensive line wins them this game. All right, so FSU Louisville, and I was trying to find an angle because somebody rightly pointed out to me last week when we posted the games on Twitter, I think under the ESPN account or Facebook, whatever it was, and somebody said, hey, man, I'm trying real hard to find that FSU game on here. Maybe I should make it a rule that the FSU game is always on the sheet, the one of the 10 picks that I do. I think that's a fair criticism. So I'm going to get to that now. FSU will be on there in some form or another for every game this year, whether I'm actually betting them or not. This would be an actual bet if I were to bet it. FSU Louisville, take the under 46.
He's staying away from the winner.
Yeah, we're going to take the under 46 here. Both teams struggling mightily on offense. Louisville is a mess. They can't figure out their quarterback situation. And there's a thought that perhaps those guys are quitting on Bobby Petrino. Wouldn't be the first time somebody's quit on Bobby Petrino. Yeah.
Or vice versa.
Well, that's correct. So there's a lot of quit in that Petrino I guess
sordid history.
Yeah, I was going to say his history, but I was trying to think back at every stop. When he's motivated, he's a good coach. When he's called it a day.
Sometimes he quits staying on the straight and narrow, figuratively and literally.
Under 46. Arkansas is getting 21.5 against Texas A&M. It's the Jimbo special. Give me Arkansas getting 21.5. You know A&M's covered every game this year?
Have they really? What a departure for Jimbo Fisher.
That's the antithesis of what occurred here. Yes, I would also say this. That was a cheap cover. Down 20, whatever he was down. He kicked a field goal. Come on, Jimbo.
Oh, did he really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
down
he knows.
20. Yeah, down 27 or 24.
That kick was for the Gig'em boots right there.
That was. He kicked a field goal with
Jimbo.
Good kick, Jimbo.
Now, I know we're not allowed to actually patch into your headset, but that's what we're going to do.
In the National Football League, could you imagine that? Rabid. That's so good. I would love it. Like crazy boosters. That guy, Archie, that I said kicked open the door, Vietnam vet sitting down across from Jimbo, just talking to him. We got to kick the field goal here, Jimbo. Who is this? You know who it is. Kick that damn field goal. NFL Colts giving 1.5 to Houston. Suspicious of this line. I don't like lines that scream something's amiss, something's weird. Houston has been awful. They're on the road. The Colts are improving, gave the Eagles everything they wanted, could have won that game, and Andrew Luck is starting to look pretty good. The Colts are getting a little better every week. They're playing better defense. Why is Houston only getting 1.5 in this game? Can't figure it out.
There's got to be some sort of offensive line, defensive line matchup issue here. I mean, J.J. Watt did come to life, and maybe historically he's great.
I think you answered it. I think you answered it. I think that's right, because the Colts have a guard, but they don't have a tackle. Kansas City's given 4.5 against Denver on the road in Denver. I gave it. Kansas City, by the way, a covering machine. They've covered every game this year, and they've done so by more than double digits in every one.
This is a really, really fascinating game that we can talk about next Monday because it's on a weekday, thankfully. But you look at that matchup and you see an offense with a quarterback who has yet to be affected, and you see a defensive line that it just lives on affecting the quarterback. So if Mahomes has to drop his eye level every once in a while, how does that affect when he actually has an open receiver in time to throw? It should be fascinating.
It should. I don't think Denver's any good. I think they get exposed here, and I'll take Kansas City to win the game in Denver going away, which historically is not what you do, but I'm going to do that here.
All right.
There you go. Yeah, that's right. That's what we do. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
$6,000 off. So pick a Rogue, pick an Altima, pick a Pathfinder, or pick a Murano, and take $6,000 off, and that's what you pay. From S model to Platinum models, all models $6,000 off, and only at Kraft Nissan. And all Titan and Titan XD full-size pickup trucks are $10,000 off. Regular cab, extended cab, crew cab, gas or diesel, all 2018 Titans are $10,000 off, and we will give you $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade. That's $10,000 off all Titans and $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade, or a total of $12,000 in discounts on every Titan we sell at Kraft Nissan. But you better hurry. Pick 6 savings end Monday. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco.
Football is in full swing, and so are the Milwaukee deals at Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Almost every M18 brushless fuel kit has a $100 off trade-in, or you can get $150 off trade-in on a 4, 5, or 6-piece M18 fuel combo kit. Buy a Milwaukee M18 High Demand 9.0 starter kit for only $259 and get a free brushless Sawzall. Milwaukee, upgrade, outwork, outlast. Cornerstone Tool and Fastener, the largest Milwaukee selection in the area. It's 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon.
The All-Team All-American Tailgate Party is coming to 4 Points Hotel in Tallahassee Saturday morning, 8:30 to 11:30, September 29. Hello, I'm Brian Cerny, host of Tallahassee Talks. Join me for prizes, giveaways, and a fantastic buffet as we broadcast our entire show from the Bronze Ballroom, including an earlier recorded conversation with legendary coach Bobby Bowden. $5 at the door benefits the North Florida Red Cross. Find out more at TallahasseeTalks.com. Brought to you by Whitten Glass.
Whitten Glass been taking care of business since 1945. When you call Whitten Glass, you're dealing with experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best. Like Whitten's top-of-the-line bath enclosures that provide style and luxury at an affordable price. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Whitten Glass. We'll help you design it and install it. Whitten Glass, the first name in glass replacement. Call 222-5781.
Looking for a new place to watch your favorite sporting events? Hobbit American Grill with 3 locations to choose from. Just show them your stub. That's right, your ticket stub from any local sporting event for $1 pints and $3 crafts. BOGO Mondays every Monday with 50% off specials. Like or follow on Facebook to get all the details. PS4 tourneys, trivia, karaoke, darts, and more. Lots of daily lunch specials under $8. Happy hour specials daily and happy hour all day on Friday. The Hobbit American Grill.
Rattler Review, hosted by the Tallahassee Democrats' Rory Chirac, every football Friday at 6 p.m. right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio, Tallahassee Sports Monster. The Jeff Cameron Show is brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Big store pricing with local service. Online at ctf.nu.
Tom, I wanted to provide clarification as to what exactly happened to the Davis Cup and why it's no longer a thing. Well, it's a thing that nobody watches, but it was a thing that everybody watched and cared about and played in when I was young. The late, great Arthur Ashe wrote in his memoir that early in his career, it thrilled him, quote, beyond measure to hear the umpire announce not my name, but that of my country when he won a Davis Cup match. But that was in the years right before the sport officially opened up to professionals in 1968. The ITF and the national federations refused to adapt the team competition to the new era. Officials simply figured players would always prioritize playing for their country, even if doing so mostly benefited the ITF and damaged players' earning opportunities in Grand Slam preparation. So they didn't adjust the schedule, and guys started saying, man, pays a lot more and it feels a lot more prestigious to go win Grand Slam tournaments, and playing in this Davis Cup thing here is killing me. Quote, when there was no pro tennis to occupy your every waking thought, the things that mattered to you most was doing well in Grand Slams if you got the opportunity, and especially for the U.S. and the U.S. Nationals and Davis Cup, said Arthur Ashe in 1980. That represented the height of your sports aspirations growing up. But with the money increasing greatly since 1968, those priorities shifted and they never adjusted. And so many of the pros have said, I don't really care to play. And I was looking at a quote from Roger Federer, who was asked about this one time. And he said, I always feel there is so much guilt put on you from the Federation or from the ITF, more so than anybody else. I'm happy I was able to finally tick that off on my list and do it. That's where Davis Cup stood. Roger Federer, the biggest name in the sport, winning the International Tennis Federation's national team competition, was guilt-ridden about being forced to play and the obligation, a chore that he had to check off, as opposed to representing his country and being excited about it. So that's why. So we got an answer.
Well, if there's more money involved in, doing your own thing, I think there's nothing more American than that, right? So go for it. I don't know what the compensation package is, though, for, say, Ryder Cup. I don't think it's...
They don't get paid, do they?
I think they just get put up, and they get, per diem and all that kind of stuff.
Well, somebody complained about it one time.
This was a story 4 or 5 years ago.
One of the players brought up that they didn't get paid, and everybody went, yo, and shouted him down. That was a bad look.
Yeah, it looks like they make a couple of bucks off of it, though.
Well, I'm saying it was a bad look for the player at the time. I'm not saying he was necessarily wrong, but the mob came after him, man. Everybody was like, whoa,
I get it.
What are we doing here?
Nobody wants to hear that when you wear laundry that actually resembles the flag of the country or continent, in this case, for Team Europe, that you're representing. And there's history, in the sport. The best of the best have always played in the Ryder Cup in golf. But at the same time, I don't think NBC is putting this on and setting aside time for free. No.
There's people making money off of it. I will also say this. The Ryder Cup didn't used to mean a damn thing. I mean, there was a time where the United States won every time they played. It wasn't, they had to incorporate Jack's idea for this thing to become anything.
Sure. It had to be Europe. And, if it was just Great Britain.
Ass kickings every year.
Every other year.
Yeah. Yes. It just didn't matter at all. I don't even know that the casual golf fan knew it existed. We're like, oh.
No, we just always won.
Well, yeah.
That was it.
So this hasn't always mattered the way that it does now. It has taken on a larger-than-life feel to it. I love that. I like that. I like to see guys have to – you know what I like more than anything else? Listen, man, at the end of the day, it's golf, right? Guy makes a shot or he doesn't make a shot. You win the event or you don't win the event. I'd like him to win the event. It's not going to change my life at all if we lose it or if we win it. I'm not going to be beaming for the next 6 months because we own this or till the next time we have it. I'll be you're going to pull my American card. But what I will tell you is this. I want him to win it. If we're going to compete, I want to win. I got it, yeah. But what I will also say is that what I like about the event is, okay, so many of these guys do believe it to be an honor, much like playing in the Olympics, competing in the Olympics, representing your country. And because it takes on that importance to them, what is added is the pressure that comes with those feelings. And watching the best in the world go head-to-head under those moments where the pressure is at its height or at its apex is absolutely thrilling because it reveals something about a player. It reveals something about people's ability to overcome nerves and make shots and fears and everything else. I think it's awesome. I like that no matter what the event is. This happens to be the Ryder Cup. But if the event, like a major, elicits that, that is captivating.
Well, and this is a sport, I think
it's
part of it,
individual sport and a team competition, which is cool.
Right. Because it's an individual sport, this adds to your individual legacy. There's a lot that it can do for you in the pantheon of, the game, the Ryder Cup itself, but the game's history.
See, Ian Poulter, who is relatively benign on tour. Nobody really thinks about him except for his purple shoes. Except that he's awesome in the Ryder Cup.
And Sergio was long before he ever won a major.
Yeah,
so, it's something that you bring up. It's probably the first or second thing you bring up about Sergio, and he's a Hall of Famer. All the greats, Jack was a big part, as you've talked about, of forming this thing, but all of the greats have
Seve and all the rest.
A highlight or a low light at the Ryder Cup, that are from the USA and Europe. That's just the way it is. And so if you're trying to chase down, somebody from a generation or 2 generations ago, you want to add what you've done to the Ryder Cup to your list. It makes your career all the brighter. For Brooks Koepka, for example, now a 3-time major winner, he had a 3-1 record 2 years ago when the Ryder Cup was played back in the United States. So if you can win, if you're Brooks, let's say 7 majors by the time it's all done. I'm really shooting for a high number here, but if he wins 7 majors and he is a killer in the Ryder Cup, he's one of the greatest American golfers to ever play.
If you're somebody out there who wonders about capturing the intensity of this and really that and many other aspects of the tour, and I'm not a big fan of the individual, but I am a big fan of his writing, read John Feinstein's A Good Walk Spoiled. It begins, by the way, with the Americans' win at the Belfry in 1993. The last time, right?
That's the last time we won overseas.
Yeah, so you get into the players' minds and their private lives and all that. The book reveals all of that, the intensity, the pressure. It's got, Tom Watson and Greg Norman and Nick Faldo and all these different guys, and Davis Love III. I think if I remember correctly, I read that book ages ago now, 20 years ago. But if you read that book, I think it begins with him about to puke or puking on the first tee and his knees shaking. He's talking about he had been playing all his life, his father, everything else, and he's like physically, he can't stop his hand from shaking.
There are legends about the first tee. That's what most pro golfers who have had that opportunity say the hardest shot they've ever hit was the first shot in a Ryder Cup. Brooks Koepka, there was an article this week, I should say, by Keith Van Valkenburg for ESPN, and he does this thing, and I told you, it makes me nervous when he was closing the PGA Championship.
Where he slaps
he knocks the ball down on the tee into the grass with the driver head. He knocks it down. He said the only time he hasn't done that was for the first tee shot of his first Ryder Cup, because if he knocked it off the tee,
it would count.
He'd be embarrassed, and apparently you can re-tee it in that circumstance. I didn't realize this. But then everybody would see his hands shake, and he did not want anybody to see
his hands shake.
That his hands were shaking. Yes.
Yeah, how great is that? Well, Webb Simpson popped it up with a 3-wood about 30 yards, straight up into the air. Can you imagine that?
Sure, I've done it.
I've done it. I've yanked a dead ass left and almost hit the people in the cart path sitting there next to the hole. But what I'm saying is,
first tournament I ever played in, I had to re-tee twice. Did I ever tell you that?
No, but that's awesome.
I was hitting 5 off the tee.
Well, and nerves, I get it.
I was 9, but
he's Webb Simpson. This is a man that has a major. This is a man that has won TPC at Sawgrass. He's won some big events. Boop-a-da-doo, straight up into the air. That's, when you feel the best about watching golf and in that realization of how hard it is I told you I watched Kenny Perry drop kick a tee shot. He's Kenny Perry, multiple-time winner on the PGA Tour, and he hits the ground in front of the ball with his drive and then tops it and just hits a skimmer about 180 yards out there, and he chuckles and goes, "Ha, I drop-kicked it." And everybody in his group laughed. He's just chuckling and walked after it. I remember thinking, well, that's a good way to respond to drop-kicking. You're on the tour, the cameras are on, and you drop-kick one. Henrik Stenson sent a 7-iron off somebody's face, dead right, 10 yards. That was incredible. And he's considered one of the best ball strikers on tour.
One of the great ball strikers at last.
7-iron, an easy club to hit, straight into the face of a dude. That'll hurt your feelings. Whoa, got away from me there. Must have looked up.
It's just they cut to the camera shot of the guy laying face down in the grass. There's a pile of blood, and then the next thing. Well, Henrik's got some work to do for par on number 1.
The thing I'm always amazed by the way, and you talk about the psychology inherent to the game, and because it's an individual thing, and in this case you're a team sport, all that stuff. But one thing that I will tell you is that I'm blown away how often on tour, and we'll move on, guys will hit a bad shot, like the one we're talking about, where things you see on the weekend with us, right? Some Stenson shot, a pop-up, a drop kick, yank it dead ass out of bounds or something ridiculous. they always recover. It's like that. The pop-up, by the way, Webb Simpson, he parred the hole.
There's pride at that point. Absolutely.
I mean,
it
straight
kicks
up.
in.
Now, think about this. Your first tee shot at a Ryder Cup, and you pop it straight up with a 3-wood, not even your driver. You pop it straight up. Everybody laughs. You can audibly hear the crowd laughing. He laughs a little bit, but he looks like he's also about to cry. Turns to, I can't remember who he was playing with, Bubba Watson. He turns and says something to him, and then he's just trying. He wants to be anywhere but there. And then has to obviously hit, a 3-wood again. And he hammers it, and he ends up saving par.
Yeah, in a way, it might be the best thing that could happen to you. Get it out of the way.
Can't get worse than that, right?
No.
Well, that's straight up.
I mean, you could go Jim Morangi, and you could card a 9 and never return to you could be Ian Baker Finch in the booth next week. Or
that's a toughie.
You respond.
That poor guy. Jeff Cameron, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Bar and Grill and Monday Mania. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
An eager young FSU marketing major came into Poor Paul's the other day and told me what a genius he thought I was for all the great specials we have, like the $2.95 top shelf liquor drinks on Wednesday and Friday nights, the free ladies drinks on Tuesday nights, the free Gumby's pizza with $4.95 pitchers every Sunday and Monday nights, not to mention all of the free beer winners we have on the Wheel of Fortune all day, every day. This guy asked me if I'd majored in marketing, and I told him I had, but what I didn't tell the poor guy was that in 4 years, I didn't learn a damn thing in any of my classes. You see, there was this girl I got to know named Bunny who, let's just say, was working her way through school, who sold a great product, cheap, with a smile, and as a result had hundreds of happy customers. And except for that little red light in her window, all her advertising was simply word of mouth. So I didn't worry about all those charts and graphs and formulas. I knew all I needed were the Bunny marketing methods. Sell good stuff, cheap, with a smile. And just like at Bunny's, Poor Paul's always has lots of happy customers wanting to spend their money. And that's why that poor kid thought I was so smart.
I give to you easy laundry service from my friends at Wash Around the Clock. Oh, buddy, this is a game changer. If you're like me, your life is hectic. Between work, school, your kids' sporting events and activities, well, it leaves you precious little time to kick back and take a load off. About the last thing you want to do is hours of laundry, but there sits, staring at you, taunting. No more. That's right. More watching, less washing. Save hours of valuable time when you sign up not doing laundry with easy laundry service from Wash Around the Clock. Whether it's dry cleaning or just plain laundry, Wash Around the Clock's easy laundry service will pick up and deliver at your home or office. So sign up for free today at easylaundry.net, or you can give them a call, 850-597-9007. Again, sign up today at easylaundry.net. Oh, and by the way, I got you. Use promo code JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's easylaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
Wow, E+ is great.
E+? Is that like A+?
It's better. The E stands for energy, but it should stand for easy.
Easy Plus?
Yep, easy ways to save energy, water, and money through the City of Tallahassee utilities. Easy ways to monitor our account, easy ways to pay our bill online, check our balance, compare usage history, and so much more.
And I see the City of Tallahassee Utilities has a smart bill, which sends our bill directly to our email inbox for easy payment online, too. What a time saver.
And when we download the City of Tallahassee's digital app, we can do everything on our phones, even report service issues like a power outage or blocked road.
Plus, when we go to talgov.com, we can get more information on other great City of Tallahassee utilities, like the Energy Star rebates and insulation grants. Wow, the E really should stand for easy.
Yep, E+ from the City of Tallahassee Utilities. It helps customers save energy, water, and money.
Thursdays are Friday Eve, and that's a reason to celebrate. No matter what you're looking for, they've got you covered every Thursday down in College Town. Centrale offers 50% off select pizzas all day, every Thursday. Or you can stop by Township for Taco Thursday. $2 house tacos, $2. Madison Social offers the Social Agreement. You and a buddy can split one Aurora wings, 2 Madso burgers, 2 bourbons, 2 proof Madison Socials, all for just $40. See what they did there? And don't worry about parking. Plenty of spaces available in the parking deck or surrounding lots. Check out all the Thursday College Town deals right now on ThursdaysInCollegetown.com.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. Safety Eric Reed, who was let go by the 49ers back in March, signs a one-year deal today with the Carolina Panthers. Reed filed a collusion grievance against the NFL 4 months ago. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports that grievance is expected to go forward. Reed was one of the first players to join Colin Kaepernick taking a knee during the national anthem 2 years ago. Aaron Rodgers' left knee is apparently feeling a little better. The Packers quarterback practicing today for the first time during the week since his injury in Week 1. Rodgers a limited participant in practice today. The Packers will host the Bills on Sunday. The Raiders are 0-3 under new head coach John Gruden, but quarterback Derek Carr says things are definitely different.
The way that we're doing certain things, it's awesome. It really is, and I think that's why you see our team here on a Monday after a loss lifting. It's not what we wanted, but everyone in there is energized. I've been 0-10 before, and I know that feeling. I've seen the look on people's faces. It's not the same look that our team has. Maybe it has to do with our coaches, or maybe it has to do with veteran players. I don't know. But, we understand that we're doing some really good things.
The Raiders host the Browns on Sunday. The Lakers play their first preseason game on Sunday in San Diego against the Nuggets, but LeBron James may sit out. James says at this point he doesn't need preseason games to get ready. Jim Courier steps down today as U.S. Davis Cup captain after 8 years. Under Courier's direction, the team made the semifinals twice, losing in the semis this year to Croatia.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Appreciate you tuning in. Man, it's interesting, the reaction to the Kelly Bryant transfer and to the discussion of transfer in general. We talked about it yesterday. There was a response there. People have talked about this a lot. This makes perfect sense. You knew this was going to happen. This was predicted before the year started.
Andy Staples is on a Twitter crusade. I had to tell him to be quiet for a while.
What was his take?
He's answering every single reply. All right, I get it, man. This is very logical what's happening here.
Oh, it is, though. I mean, I didn't see what he said, but that's right. Yeah.
He's arguing that, it is.
It's completely
He was
logical.
given a fair chance. There's nothing about him being screwed over here.
No, nobody's screwed over here. This, I would have just said, and I did to some extent yesterday, I read this as both sides doing what's best for them. That's kind of what this looks like to me, more than anything else. You know what happens is you're taught to compete, and that competition doesn't always go your way, but that you pick yourself up and you continue to fight. So you get this old school mantra that you have in your mind as a little kid when you grew up competing in sports, and the idea that when something doesn't go your way, you don't just take your ball and go home. And that's the mentality of those that are criticizing a kid who decides that, I'm not going to win the job. I'm not going to be the guy at quarterback, so therefore I'm going to go somewhere else where I can be. And they look at that and they say that's a negative. And generally speaking, I think that's true, that if you're the kind of competitor that can't handle losing, then sports are not for you, and it's generally not a good way to go through life because things aren't always going to go your way. But it's not true when you got 1 year to play football and the other kid is a true freshman whom you're never going to beat out. He is not going anywhere. He is that kind of special. That kid, by the way, Lawrence, sadly for us and everybody else in this league, might end up being the best quarterback in the league this year, in this league. It's not a good league, but he could be the best. There is no future for Bryant with Clemson, and if you want to play football and you got 1 year left to do it and you've graduated, ride out, man.
Yeah, I think if you want to ask one serious soul-searching question, if you're Kelly Bryant, it's, do I want to be a part of a potential championship-winning team where my skill set would make me unique for – 5% of the snaps in a game, certain situations of the game? Or do I want to play 12 more games, minimum, plus a bowl, hopefully, somewhere else?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be a part of a championship team. That's fine.
I mean, he was a part of a championship team.
But not this one. Yeah. He could be a big piece to the puzzle because you're one injury away from going right back in there, and or you look at his skill set against what Lawrence brings to the table. It's different. If it's 3rd and 1 and you need a score or you need a first down,
yeah,
you're going to Kelly Bryant to put him on the field in that situation, I would think.
Yeah, he got exposed last year, though. They won't be in a position to win a championship because of what he is lacking. So that's an aspect that you're talking about that is beneficial to him, but so many of the things about him as a passer would never put them in a position to win a championship.
No, it's do you want to be a role player on a championship team? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I don't
national championship, they can win the conference with him at quarterback.
Right, yeah. They would win the conference with him at quarterback, yeah. It's interesting. Part of this is kind of the way I'm viewing how hopeless the season is, and I don't mean for us, which that's we've had to scale down expectations. Alabama's not getting beat. That Clemson team or nobody else, nobody's. They're that good.
Well, now the one thing, if I'm a Clemson fan, I go, well, damn it, if Lawrence comes up lame, he's limping a little bit, and he's got to sit out for a series or two. We got to go to a kid who was a 2017 signee who. I mean, what was he in the depth chart, like 5th before spring camp? But they've had all this attrition at the position. Now we don't have depth, so you have this feeling of there's no net beneath you.
Yeah, it's troublesome when you lose talented players that could provide that depth and give you real options. You're right. Throughout the course of a game, you don't want to lose guys like that. But the reality of the situation is it's going to happen to us if we get good enough. This is what's going to happen for people who are able to recruit at an elite level and stockpile talent. Somebody's going to say, well, screw this, I can just leave.
Saw a report out of Clemson yesterday that said that Hunter Renfrow, who has been there since how long?
1974.
Yeah, that he was taking some snaps at quarterback. And
that's right, limited basis, yeah.
Right, so does that mean that he would be the package quarterback if they need a running play? Because you're not going to run Lawrence if you don't have anything behind him. That's one thing you're probably taking off of the ledger in terms of your offensive playbook, right?
Yeah, I think they're going to sit in the pocket and throw the ball down the field to their many weapons.
Which he can do, but
he can really do it.
That's not been their MO to get them where they are to this point in Dabo's program.
Yeah, I just think they want a guy that can – I mean, they got one of those guys, right? It's frustrating for us especially because we know what that's like. When you see it – when you talk to Clemson people, and I have, they talk about him the same way that people talked about Jameis when he got here. There comes around a guy every now and again where it doesn't take long. You just see it. You and I did it, standing on the sideline together, going, oh, well, okay then. That's what's going on here. When you have a kid like that, it's usually recognizable by everybody, including the players, most importantly. It is certainly recognized by coaches. And so the only thing you're doing is biding time. You're figuring out how quickly can this guy learn this offense? Because he's better. He's already better. He's a much better thrower. What he enables us to do in the passing game is almost transcendent compared to what we usually have at the position. And so I just need him to speed up. Let's learn this system. How quickly can you learn this system? The second you got it, you're going out there. And that was Jimbo's debate. Look, it was EJ's time. We've had the discussion many times before, though. What would it have been had he just decided to pull the trigger that year with Jameis Winston in 2012?
Jameis was really tiny. He grew a lot from his redshirt season to his.
But I have no doubt that he knew that offense better than EJ Manuel.
Do we win the NC State game on the road? You just don't know how Jameis would react in
that
environment.
You don't know how a true freshman would react.
And there's one thing I would say that's never talked about. When Jameis is amped up emotionally, bad things happen. In terms of his play, his accuracy. It's the Auburn game for the national title. That was his rivalry game. He was amped up emotionally for a lot of games, the Notre Dame first half. Then you go to the Florida game in 2014.
But when he gathers, I don't count
when he gathers himself.
Yeah, I don't count the 2014 game. That was.
Look at prime time in the league.
Yeah, when he's idolizing an opposing quarterback like Brady, he has a half. Let's hope he's beyond that now. But yes, he's had those kinds of halves.
Even his first primetime game was a Thursday against the St. Louis Rams at the time, and he flew off the deep end that night. You could tell there's just so when he's 18 years old, what happens in that season, in that moment?
I can't know. None of us ever will. It is worth debating. I think that at that point you're still talking about a quarterback that started with all that experience, size, and all those reps, but he was rat trapping. Would Jameis have been better than the guy that was rat trapping?
Well,
probably.
I would answer you this. I would say if Jameis is rolling out to the right in the fourth quarter of a game up 16-10 on NC State, and it's either throw it away or run and get out of bounds, he would probably have done one of those two things.
Right,
or throw it to the read, the progression. I don't think he would have spun back to the middle of the field.
He wouldn't have done the zippity-doo and go back to the middle of the field and take out a field goal range?
I think we would have kicked a 45-yard field goal and won that football game.
I do, too.
If he was in for that one play.
I do, too. It's funny, though. I mean, that's always been a fun talking point amongst Knowles.
Would he have turned it over 5 times against Florida? Because the 5th one was the killer.
Well, this just takes us down a road we don't want to go because you end up having to dog a kid who was a good kid who just it went south on him, and the head coach didn't help him.
Most frustrating play of E.J. Manuel's career was the final play against Florida in that 2012 game. He made about 6 people miss, and he was running all over the field.
Did we ever figure out, was he concussed? I think there was a chance he was concussed.
We rolled him back out there, didn't we?
Of course we did, yes. A lot of things about that situation that didn't jive.
Well, you couldn't burn Winston's shirt at that point. There wasn't the 4-game rule.
I mean, we were like, listen, kid, I know your brain may be scrambled, but get out there.
And he decided to run, and he looked like, what he was before he got hurt in the shoulder against Oklahoma in 2011.
It's still very maddening. And, it's funny. I guess we all do this. It's the thing you do when you have an affinity for a team, a love for a team. You can remember games, moments, things that got away, also great plays, of course. But, yeah, I have often gone back through and thought if your great fear with Winston being inserted into the starting lineup was that he was a true freshman in 2012, that's a fair argument. If your argument is that, well, he probably didn't know the offense, you're wrong. There's no way. I think he did like this.
So the Clemson game, one more example, 2012, we're down whatever it is, 2 scores, first quarter. Is he capable? It's at home, so it's not, playing on the road. But
remember that offense. I mean, that defense for Clemson wasn't the
Jimbo got in a rhythm. But what happens to the kid if you're down a couple of scores and now you're feeling all that weight on your shoulders in that moment?
Yeah. But see, what you do in that situation is assume that we would have been in a situation as to where we're trailing because the offense isn't early on quite in that rhythm yet, and Clemson's got trick plays galore. Clemson would have had trick plays galore, but I don't know that we would not have immediately answered with a guy that had a good handle on the offense.
Is it true, or is that a rumor that he went to Jimbo's offense and said, I know the offense better, put me in?
Well,
is that a rumor?
It's not. I'm not going to comment on that. I'm not going to comment on that.
Sorry, I stepped into a magpie there, didn't I?
Yeah. We're not. That's specifically those exact words, Tom. I don't know, but I know that
he was confident. In
very
his abilities.
Confident young man, and that sounds like something he would say. That sounds like something Jimbo would have to hear from that young man, and then from there, I would guess that. I guess Jimbo probably really liked the kid even more. Like, I could picture Jimbo in that moment going, this guy here. It's not time, young man, but I like it.
You're 145 pounds soaking wet. I don't know if we can block it up.
Yeah, right. And, I don't want to ruin you because you can ruin a kid.
I mean, EJ's AC joint, he won't run anymore. So
yeah. I'll tell you what, that version of Jimbo back then was a fun version of Jimbo. He was weird and quirky and all that stuff, but when I would talk to him, I enjoyed it because he was always searching still, and he could be frustrating, but he knew that they were close, and he had recruited so well. And I think he was still figuring out how to win big games, figuring out how to, get a conference title and do all those things, and then take the next big step. And we couldn't have known that by the following year you were going to have one of the juggernauts.
Head coach and waiting Jimbo and that first staff, they could recruit their ass off. The transition December when he made LaMarcus Joyner realize the importance of saying yes to Florida State.
And that was the catalyst for a lot of things. I mean, what we're doing now this season, you can mirror that. The record won't be as good, but what you're saying now about Willie Taggart is, listen, one of the reasons he was hired is he's young and he's a really good recruiter. And we figured he would own the state because of his ties to the state, and he already did a good job at USF in recruiting, and that this is a guy that has a different message. So you're going to have to weather the storm and hope like hell that if in the midst of that the record goes south, he can still get people like Jimbo did, get kids to understand that, okay, put that aside. We're not where we want to be. That's why I'm in your living room right now. You're the kind of kid that can get us there. It is absolutely critical that you say yes and understand the long-term vision. And that was Jimbo's greatest asset as a recruiter, was getting those guys in those 2012, 2011 classes, going back, getting those kids to understand that, hey, yeah, we don't look like we should look right now, and Florida's had the better of it. But I promise you, with guys like you, that changes. Be a part of what I'm building here. Buy into this and get some other kids to come on board. I'm telling you, we'll win. And it's hard to do when you're not winning or you don't look good. And so that's what this is about. Like, can we patchwork it together this season, and then can he still go out and get an overwhelming number of kids on that offensive line and at linebacker in the areas where you're lacking? Can we get the roster turnover to where we can change the overall attitude of a team because we're soft currently? We're lacking physically in some areas, and mentally we're lacking across the board just about. The only areas where you see the kind of toughness that you want in a football team is with the youth on this team. And those are the guys that, some of these guys Willie brought in last second, salvaging a class in an early signing period.
He got us Trayshawn Harrison and Jaden Woodby.
Did he?
Those are two pieces.
Hour number 2, forthcoming. Stay with.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
If it happens at the gym, while grabbing a quick lunch, or trying to line up a putt, you can't deny your hair. So do it a favor by checking in online at sportclips.com/checkin. We'll tell you when to arrive to be just in time for your Sport Clips MVP haircut experience while you surround yourself with sports on TV. Check it out today and claim your spot wherever you are. Just go to sportclips.com/check-in. At Sport Clips, getting a game-changing haircut is easier than ever. Time to claim your spot!
The holidays are coming. Well, in a few months, and that's why now is the time to shower up with a beautiful custom bath or shower enclosure from Widden Glass. Don't wait for the holiday rush. Widden Glass will take care of you this summer to your complete satisfaction. They've been helping to design and install bath and shower enclosures for Tallahassee homeowners for over 70 years. When you call Widden Glass, you're dealing with real glass people, experienced, reliable professionals. Widden's top-of-the-line bath and shower enclosures provide style and luxury at an affordable price. With the holidays coming, that means family, and that means now is the time to shower up with style.
Call today. Widden Glass, the real glass people. 222-5781 or online at widdenglass.com. WHIDDON. Widden, Tallahassee's first family in glass since 1945. 222-5781.
The hardest working man in comedy is back. Kevin Hart. It's the Irresponsible Tour.
I caught my dad giving my kids raw candy out of his pocket. Candy with no wrapper. It was loose. It was just in his pocket. He said,
The box office smash comedian, Kevin Hart.
Where the lines at on that peppermint?
Kevin Hart.
5 minutes go by, I saw my dad take that peppermint out of his mouth, put it back in his pocket. Those were half-sucked on peppermints.
Friday, October 12th in Tucker Civic Center. Get tickets at the box office and online at tuckerciviccenter.com. Don't miss Kevin Hart.
This football season, cater your tailgate with Guthrie's. Guthrie's is a family-owned and operated restaurant that has been proudly in business for over 50 years. Since 1978, everybody has been falling hard for those golden fried chicken fingers, crispy fries, buttery Texas toast, creamy coleslaw, sweet tea, and of course, the signature sauce. Guthrie's is perfect for a school night dinner, tailgate party, or both. 2 Tallahassee locations, North Monroe Street or 1818 West Tennessee. Guthrie's Chicken, creator of the original chicken finger box and sauce.
FSU fans know where to get the best barbecue. Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue, 5442 Thomasville Road. Old School Barbecue, cooked low and slow. Find out for yourself what all the buzz is about. And when it comes to tailgating, Willie Jewell's does it best. Get the barbecue tailgate special. Pork, brisket, chicken, ribs, turkey, and wings with all the fixins. Ready to make your tailgate the place to pregame. The football team has new blood, but when it comes to barbecue, it's old school. Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue, 5442 Thomasville Road. Go Noles.
Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
Scott Graham from Westwood One with a preview of Thursday Night Football as the primetime spotlight heads west to the LA Memorial Coliseum with Todd Gurley and the Rams taking on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. The Rams are 3-0 on the season, and head coach Sean McVay says that has a lot to do with the play of quarterback Jared Goff.
He's making plays that great players make, and that's why you feel fortunate to have him leading the way. I think you just see the ownership, the comfort level, as he's accumulating these reps against certain defensive structures or systems. He's putting these in the memory bank, and I think that shows up where he's more comfortable, and then guys are making plays as well. I mean, you look at it really, our offensive players, they consistently make big-time plays.
The Vikings are coming off a loss to the Bills last Sunday. Kenny Albert and Tony Baselli will have the call on Thursday Night Football.
Remember to listen to Westwood One's coverage of the NFL all season long. Right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio, Tallahassee's sports monster.
It's not going anywhere this winter. It's the only convertible like it. Let me get this custom cover on.
Hold on there, neighbor. Are you storing it with Sta-Bil in the gas?
Store it with what?
Sta-Bil Storage conditions gas so it doesn't break down into sludge and water, clogging and corroding engines, like someone else you might know.
Awesome! Can I borrow some?
Sure. After you return my leaf blower, my chainsaw, my weed
Sta-Bil Storage, available where fuel additives are sold.
Till the tears run down from my eyes, Lord, somebody, ooh, somebody, can anybody find me somebody to love?
Alexa, play hits from Queen.
Okay.
Somebody to love.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Hour number 2, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks for tuning to it. Hey, by the way, tonight, Jake the Snake Roberts. That'll be cool.
That is tonight at the Wilbury.
We've given away countless pairs of tickets. Yay, us.
That should be an interesting night.
It'll be a good night. My son has a baseball game. I can't go, but it was an enjoyable conversation with him. It's led me to think about other conversations I'd like to have with people like him that we should definitely do.
I'm sure he'd come back on, not just to promote his stuff.
Oh, I don't know if I could take that much more. It was great, but, man, there's only so much abuse you can hear from somebody, right? I mean, meaning about the times they were abused to the extent.
Well, maybe you could just, preface it. All right, 10 minutes to tell me funny stuff.
All right, yeah. We're not talking anything about how horrific your parents were, but rather the wrestling part of this conversation, which he will do tonight.
What was that about Andre the Giant in 40 seconds?
Yeah, good stuff. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming, free, always. Appreciate our friends at Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. They're your location for all of your tool needs. It's where all the pros and do-it-yourself workers shop. Big box pricing with local service. 2 locations to choose from, 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location, folks. As always, remember, open on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until noon. Most intriguing game this weekend on a Redemption Thursday with the wagers that I need to go through here will be what? Ours?
Well, I mean, I'm biased for that reason, just to see where are we and where's Louisville in their program status right now.
Not in a happy zone. Neither place in a happy place.
It's incredible to think that 2 years ago, Louisville used this as a measuring stick game to see, are they now a national power?
Well, it got brought up all week long. Willie was asked about it, and if you're him, you're like, I wasn't here. I mean, this is part of what I'm trying to clean up. Was the team was capable of going and looking like that. And from a distance, I thought, how is that possible? I mean, he wants to say that. He hasn't said that, but, I get it. It's what you'd want to say. Now, there are some players, obviously, on this team who were a part of that. That game, Tom, we don't talk about that game a lot because it became part of many, one of many, that we just rolled our eyes and thought, what are we doing here? It was all part of this downward slide that, while maybe not registering in the overall record in the same way that the score commiserate to that score would reveal, but it was all part of something that we knew revealed sustaining what was happening, while impossible, shouldn't have fallen to this extent this quickly. And so we kind of look back and think, what's going on in that locker room? We did ask those questions, but then when more losses happened, I think they distracted us from the fact that could never happen. You can't look like that in a football game. You can't be challenged in that way. I mean, Louisville's offensive line was so bad against everybody, and they were talking smack to our defense, and there were no retorts. We had nothing left to say to them. There was this sense that they could have named the number. Literally, I feel like if Bobby had wanted to, if he'd left his starters out there, they could have just had Lamar roll left or right and picked whatever he wanted to do, and we weren't in a position to stop them. That could have got into the 80s very easily.
Yeah, it becomes pretty clear that 2014 was a sign of what was to come. And I don't think it's any coincidence that you have some players and rumors about that season of players not being 100% committed to Florida State football. Maybe they were to their own careers and looking forward. And you fast forward all the way to this season to where Willie Taggart's doing an interview with you after the Samford game when he's mentioning the word fragile.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any coincidence.
No, they're
and that
directly
timeline,
correlated, yes.
That's pretty linear from point A to point C or D there, because there were some things along the way that warned us. Louisville was one of those. After 2014, Louisville was that next benchmark moment where you go, oh, my God, that first half against Ole Miss wasn't a fluke. That was real. When we were giving up all those points in the first half to Ole Miss that opening night, that was not a fluke. And then you flash forward again, Boston College on the road in a Friday night, 35-3, where everything had fallen to pieces. It was players like Jalen Ramsey and Dalvin Cook that were holding this thing together in 2015 and 2016, respectively.
Without question. And now you see why it's a bigger task at hand for Willie Taggart to repair those very fragile psyches that you're referencing. And it's frustrating, though, because you realize the recruiting rankings and all of those things, well, while they add up to being fairly impressive, it's not, it doesn't make you a great football player necessarily if you're not confident, if you don't believe, or if there's derision within a locker room. And all of that happened, and now trying to convince the older guys to be bought into a process that they're not going to see through is very, very difficult.
What can confidence do for you? Look at Miami last season, back-to-back home games against Notre Dame and Virginia Tech.
Sure.
They played outside themselves because they had believed so much and the ball had bounced their way so often that they thought they were invincible. Were they brought back to earth? Yes. But those 2 weeks, you can't take those away from the U.
No.
That's what confidence can do. And that's the hard part here. It's very frustrating to see we have a lot of pieces, but they're not interconnected yet. And if you can feed them some confidence, what could they do in one given week? Doesn't make them a 10, 11-win team, but it makes them capable of being dangerous, and we're not dangerous yet.
Not dangerous at all, but that win last week, it's ridiculous to say that, to hang your hat on a win over Northern Illinois, but to see progress, to see that you could block it up, have a game plan early on, go down the field, put together drives, sequence plays that lead to scores, make kicks, by the way. Your field goal kicker, who had been wayward as well, drills 3 kicks.
Still a little uneasy watching him. He looks like he wants to fall over on his follow-through every kick.
Well, if you're going to make all 3, including a 50-whatever yarder, then I'm not going to complain how you look. You can spin around in a circle before you kick it.
The follow-through on his plant leg is interesting.
Yeah, well, as long as he's making it, right? I mean, so this was about taking a step forward and believing and having some confidence. And even DeAndre after the game, look, that's not a perfect group in front of him by any means, and he knows that. And we'll see if Landon Dickerson plays this week. And I'm suspect whether he'll play this game.
Yeah, Willie says he's practicing, but he wasn't willing to offer anything about probable, questionable, doubtful.
Yeah, it's nice that he's dressed out. It means he's getting healthier. But
yes.
We'll see. I don't think he's quite there yet from what I can tell and from what my sources have told me. But having said that, I mean, you get the 37 points. You put up, you run over 50 plays in the first half, so there's some pace to what you're doing. Guys make some plays. There's stretches in time where you actually look like a pretty decent football team. So do we get a follow-up? Do we see something Saturday that leads you to believe that while they're not good and they're not going to be good, will they give themselves opportunities to get to 6 wins, keep the bowl streak alive, consecutive seasons without a losing record, all that stuff that we now are left to care about? It's really all that's left at this point. We'd prefer to be playing for championships, but that's off the table currently. But if you beat Louisville, it's just like I said yesterday, you give yourself a month of invested fandom. Because, again, at that point, you'd have 3 wins, and you would only need 3 more. And there is a schedule. I mean, this is a weak conference. I mean, you're not going to beat Clemson, but you could beat Wake. You could beat NC State. You might beat Boston College in Florida. All of a sudden, you see possibilities where those streaks could be made to happen.
Well, you need to get a little bit luckier, too. What did we turn the ball over? 4 times in this game?
It's crazy. Every time we drop the ball, somebody's there to recover it on the other team. Every time we force a fumble, we can't get to it.
Well, and there are 8 plays, I think, by my count, where we could have turned the ball over. You have the deflection on the first drive. They would have killed a drive, so maybe it's 7. But on that first drive, you got 2 deflected passes.
Yeah.
And one falls harmlessly through the arms of a Northern Illinois defender to the turf. And then the other one, Jacques Patrick actually catches for a touchdown. But then you have 2 other fumbles that are recovered by Cole Minshew. I mean, and you've got one that's close with Trey McKitty where they said forward progress, and he was down, and he was already kind of bobbling the ball earlier. I'm glad they said forward progress, and they weren't able to review that.
Right.
You got to have a lot. I mean, it's John Gruden. Make a note about ball security on our side, first of all. And then we are putting the ball on the ground. We're forcing a lot of fumbles. We're putting ourselves in positions for interceptions as well, and we're not cashing in on those. And you need to get a little bit of luck going your way with turnovers because that can also aid you. If you put together a couple of drives and get a short field and score again, who knows? We could throw up a big number, but I feel like we're operating behind the 8 ball in the turnover game an awful lot.
It should be noted again that this Louisville team, look, we all concentrate on our team, but this Louisville team is fragile too. And they just got blown out by Virginia. They scored 3 points. They thought coming into the season, because I remember talking to them, players and people that cover this team, that Puma Pass was going to be an answer. Nobody's going to be Lamar, but he was a good football player, and they were going to be able to make plays, and we talked about that. They haven't done that. It's not there. Something's rotten in Denmark. It's not going well. It doesn't look like they're playing hard for Bobby right now. This game could very well come down to who gets out to a lead. And when you're fragile and you're lacking confidence and you're not so sure you believe in everything that's going on or that you're doing or that you can win, you get down a couple scores, it's a here we go again mentality, unfortunately. You get up a couple of scores coming off of a win like we are, all of a sudden you think, okay, things are moving in the right direction. Let's go.
Which makes it a hard game to pick, but we're blowing coverages to Northern Illinois and Samford, and I think Bobby is a much better offensive mind than...
But I don't know that they have the quarterback to get it there.
Well, that's the thing.
I mean, Puma was completing passes at barely a 50% clip.
When you get your chances, are you going to cash in on those? And when you get your chances defensively to cause a turnover, will you cash in on those? I think this is one of those games. It just screams. It's almost like Florida State basketball 7-8 years ago. This screams ugly, like really ugly. So who's going to win the rebounding battle? Who's going to have more points off turnovers? Those types of things.
I may or may not have mentioned it in my Redemption Thursday wagers, which I'll get to momentarily. But there's an angle on this game, and it's not about who's winning it. It's a little bit about the numbers. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio has you covered. Your ESPN Tallahassee Watch Party headquarters is Hobbit American Grill on West Pensacola.
Intercepted! Levante Taylor! He's gonna take it the distance!
Giveaways, contests, food and drink specials, and more. Sports Monster Watch Parties. All this year at Hobbit American Grill on West Pensacola. When the Knowles hit the road, head to Hobbit with us.
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones, they're the modern Stories family.
No matter how modern your family might be, if you're pedaling around Bedrock in a gas engine vehicle, you're living in the past.
Meet George Jetson.
The era of the electric vehicle has arrived. With instant acceleration, electric cars are more fun to drive and more affordable than ever. Electric cars are here. Plug in to the present. Learn more at plugintothepresent.com. Sponsored by Volkswagen Group of America.
Football is in full swing, and so are the Milwaukee deals at Cornerstone Tool & Fastener. Almost every M18 brushless fuel kit has a $100 off trade-in. Or you can get $150 off trade-in on a 4, 5, or 6-piece M18 fuel combo kit. Buy a Milwaukee M18 High Demand 9.0 starter kit for only $259 and get a free brushless Sawzall. Milwaukee, upgrade, outwork, outlast. Cornerstone Tool & Fastener, the largest Milwaukee selection in the area. It's 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon.
The All-Team All-American Tailgate Party is coming to 4 Points Hotel in Tallahassee Saturday morning, 8:30 to 11:30, September 29. Hello, I'm Brian Cerny, host of Tallahassee Talks. Join me for prizes, giveaways, and a fantastic buffet as we broadcast our entire show from the Bronze Ballroom, including an earlier recorded conversation with legendary coach Bobby Bowden. $5 at the door benefits the North Florida Red Cross. Find out more at TallahasseeTalks.com. Brought to you by Tasty Pastry Bakery. Is there anything more Tallahassee than Tasty Pastry Bakery? More fresh, more original, more this is why I love this town kind of delicious? I don't think so. They've been in business since 1963, working through the night to be ready the next morning with muffins, coffee cakes, bread and pastries, and my personal favorite, fresh-made bagels and Lucky Goat coffee. There's a tasty pastry just waiting for you in the Market District on Market Street, 6:45 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. They're online at tastypastrybakery.com or call them at 893-3752.
Change your oil at Superlube every 3 months or 3,000 miles for a longer-lasting engine and better gas mileage. Change your oil at Superlube today, and for a limited time, you'll get a free car wash. Right now at Superlube, you never need an appointment. You'll be in and out in no time. And with 19 Tallahassee area locations, there's a Superlube just minutes away right now.
Boy, this place is sure convenient. How I love to Superlube my car, lube my car. How I love to Superlube my car. Yes, sir.
I give to you easy laundry service from my friends at Wash Around the Clock. Oh, buddy, this is a game changer. If you're like me, your life is hectic. Between work, school, your kids' sporting events and activities, well, it leaves you precious little time to kick back and take a load off. About the last thing you want to do is hours of laundry, but there it sits, staring at you, taunting. No more. That's right. More watching, less washing. Save hours of valuable time when you sign up not doing laundry with easy laundry service from Wash Around the Clock. Whether it's dry cleaning or just plain laundry, Wash Around the Clock's easy laundry service will pick up and deliver at your home or office. So sign up for free today at easylaundry.net, or you can give them a call, 850-597-9007. Again, sign up today at easylaundry.net. Oh, and by the way, I got you. Use promo code JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's easylaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
Wahoo Seafood Grill, Tallahassee's leader in fresh seafood, is located right behind the Best Western on North Monroe. Lunch specials start at $7.99. Be sure to try their award-winning house-made burger. Big lunch parties are also welcome. Wahoo Seafood Grill makes lunch specials a very affordable choice. Delivery is available and plenty of parking. Wahoo Seafood Grill, easy access from any part of town using I-10. Visit them online at wahooseafoodgrill.com or call them today at 850-629-4059.
Looking for a new place to watch your favorite sporting events? Hobbit American Grill with 3 locations to choose from. Just show them your stub. That's right, your ticket stub from any local sporting event for $1 pints and $3 crafts. BOGO Mondays every Monday with 50% off specials. Like or follow on Facebook to get all the details. PS4 tourneys, trivia, karaoke, darts, and more. Lots of daily lunch specials under $8. Happy hour specials daily and happy hour all day on Friday. The Hobbit American Grill.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Your picks for Redemption Thursday. Got to have the D in there. Use it. Memphis minus 14 versus Tulane. Let's do that. Yeah. Hey, now. Colorado minus 9.5 against UCLA. Damn it, man. Yeah, I like it. Duke minus 4.5 against Virginia Tech. Oh, the downtrodden Virginia Tech Hokies. The times, they're tough.
Boy, they enjoyed that first week's win, though, didn't they?
What a good way to get started on a season full of question marks, right? And then, no. It's not going to happen. Georgia State getting 7.5 against Louisiana Monroe. Georgia State tough at home. Home cooking for Georgia State. I like the hook. Washington minus 17 against BYU. I'll do it. Southern Cal giving 2 to Arizona. Give it all day long. FSU Louisville don't necessarily love the game. So I'll take the under 46. Struggling. Seems apt there. Arkansas plus 21.5. Ooh, hooky.
So FSU Louisville is Berman reporting from Wrigley Field.
I'd forgotten about that. Where Van Pelt's like, oh, we're going to have to.
Boomer, what you got for me? Shall the Cubs and the Indians and.
All right.
Pitched 4 2/3 innings.
You were the one who alerted me to that time. You're like, oh, switch over to Sports
Go to Sports. Berman's cracking up.
Berman's drunk. Quick. I mean, literally, he's drunk, Jeff. Get over there. It's the best. I thought you were just, just a phrase. He's drunk because he was saying something that you didn't agree with.
No.
And then you're like, no, he's drunk. He's on TV drunk right now. It's so perfectly Berman. Go. I just,
He's like force opening his eyes and blinking and like
struggling. Yeah. In the NFL, I took the Colts minus 1.5 against Houston and Kansas City minus 4.5 against Denver. That's a bold pick. I like that. Would you even give me a bold endeavor on that?
No.
You don't just stroll on into Denver. This is a rivalry game, Tom.
Now, the bold endeavor would be to say that the Broncos win outright. That's what you'd say.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I don't think.
That's why that's bold right there.
I suppose. You know who I love? You're that's true. You're not just trying to attract people like me if you run one of these websites because, I'm not a recruitnik. It's not my thing. I don't care all that much. But this year I do. I care an awful lot. I care deeply about how we're doing in recruiting. And I don't care about receivers and running backs because we got a slew of them. I want a gazillion offensive linemen. I want it to be the weirdest class ever signed. I want people to go, what in the world? Florida State signed 18 offensive linemen.
Bring me everyone. What do you mean everyone?
Every last one of those kids that are any good at all on the offensive line that are being recruited by anybody like Alabama, anybody. We pay them off. They come here. They go nowhere else. They get paid to come to Florida State. We fill them full of anabolic steroids, and we get to playing ball.
You get a manila envelope from Alabama. You get a duffel bag from us.
Cash, money. Come on, baby. Let's go.
Unmarked bills. Unsequenced.
It's time to make it happen. Anyhow, so I say that to say this. That sounds unreasonable, but I'm kind of only barely joking. Something akin to the absurdity of what I just said needs to be going on with this offensive line. I can't watch it anymore. It drives me batty. And it's just criminal. It's just wrong. It should have never happened at a place like Florida State. That could never happen, but it happened. And here we are. And so if you're warchant.com or you're any of the other sites and you post something on offensive line, you got me? Boom, click. I'm doing it. It could be for a 2020 offensive lineman, a 2021 offensive lineman. I'm on it. Is there somebody in 8th grade that looks like they're going to develop?
He's 15. Can he reclassify?
Yeah.
Can he reclassify?
You got me right now if you post an article about an offensive lineman. You could make up his name. He may not even be real. He could be fictional. You say, Larry Smith out of South Bradenton is 6'5", 330, and he'll be a junior. I'm like, oh, who's this Larry Smith? I got to read about him. I can't help it. You've got me immediately. And so I was reading about Will Putnam, who is now a major target for Florida State. And in doing so, I saw another picture of Dante Lucas, who's already said yes to Florida State, is a verbal commit to Florida State for the class of 2019.
Solidify that.
That has to be – he can't go anywhere. That's going to be the answer to all of our dreams. That guy right there. You get him – you're changing the complexion of this offensive line forevermore. That dude looks like a badass. And every time I see clips of him, I think he's a borderline killer. And I mean that in a good way. That's a compliment, Dante. You are the man. Look at that guy. First of all, he looks 46 years old. I'm not buying that he's 19 or 18 or 17 or whatever he is.
These are the only recruits you're ever going to outright give love to. By the way.
Yeah, I don't do it.
I mean, it's September before signing day, and you're giving this kid love, like saying, you are the man. I've never heard this before.
Dante Lucas, IMG Academy, 6'4.5", 330 pounds, but moreover, he looks 40-something years old, and like he's killed 2 men at some point in his life, out of necessity, I'm sure, but he is a survivor. Look at him.
Because they got a little handsy with one of the exotic dancers.
That's right. He said, no, sir, not on my watch. And he's not the guy that throws you out. He's the guy double shiv. Or bare hands. You're getting thrown around like a rag doll.
He's already got a voice like Ving Rhames.
I love him. Every time I look, I go, well, that's right. We got that dude. Look at him.
I saw he's got a gun.
I like it. Charles Cross, by the way, is a guy we're looking at. 6'5", 275 pounds. Laurel, Mississippi. All right. Got to beef you up a little bit. 275 is a little light. Get you up to about 330. Evan Neal, IMG Academy. 6'7", 360 pounds. Come on down.
Bring me everyone. What do you mean everyone?
Everyone! I'm not kidding. Look at that guy. Who in the hell is that age and is 6'7", 360? What kind of freakish human beings are we creating? This is not a world for us, Tom. We're not going to make it. This is crazy. 6'7", 360, this guy. At IMG.
As long as they don't make the buttons harder to push, I'm okay. I'll make it.
It's crazy. Now this Will Putnam character that I referenced out of Tampa, 6'4", 280. Got to beef you up a little bit, too, out of plant. Come on. Get to eating. Get in the gym. That duffel bag's got both money and steroids. Let's get on it. Cardell Thomas, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Ooh, okay.
I like him, Tom. 6'4", 330.
Bring me everyone. What do you mean, everyone?
Now, the problem is he's probably an LSU commitment. He's a verbal commit already to LSU. But, desperate times, Tom. A little cachet.
Desperate times call for?
That's right.
Duffel bags.
Duffel bags full of cash to get people to commit from LSU to Florida State. There's another kid, Mississippi State kid. Now, why you want to go to Mississippi State? I know you're from Ocean Springs, Mississippi, but that's Mississippi. Get out of Mississippi, young man.
What kind of garbage name for a town is that? It's Mississippi Ocean Springs. That's nonsense.
Brandon Cunningham, 6'5", 300 pounds. Come on, Brandon. No cause to be going to Mississippi State. You're in Mississippi. Get out of Mississippi.
We do not have an ocean, and we do not have springs.
If you're Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could always bring in a kid from West Virginia. It's always, a little, yeah. The show is filmed, Tom. You got to be careful. 6'6", 300+ pounds from Huntington, West Virginia.
With the beady eyes.
Come on down. With the googly eyes. Another kid, Lakeland, Florida, 6'4", 318 pounds. DeAvie Hammond. Come on down. All of those guys. I've never even heard of Baldwin, Florida. Howard Allen. Great smile on you, young man. 6'5", 290. Come on down.
Bring me everyone. What do you mean, everyone?
So Michael Langston says that they're expected to take between 4 and 6 offensive linemen. That will not do. 6 to 10. 6 to 10 offensive linemen.
Whatever our budget will allow.
That's right. 6 to 10 offensive linemen, 7 linebackers.
I believe the salary.
We're good to go.
The salary cap for our offensive line signings this year is $3 million.
It has been raised. You know what? Well, I don't want to get in trouble here, but we
started GoFundMe.
I'm just saying we got to do some things, guys. Look at this group every week. You can't continue to do it. I want to look out there after we sign every one of the kids that I just mentioned and be like, oh, I am so proud. Look at this group.
You want to see hundreds fall out of their football pads and football pants after they got pancake.
I want to be like Ole Miss was when out of nowhere Hugh Freeze is signing the #1 class in the country and kids were on Twitter holding up bags of money. They're like, what's going on at Ole Miss? Oh, surely they're not doing that. They're making it too obvious. I want our kids to be doing that.
You got the right guard releasing for a screen pass and he has to turn around because he dropped a wad of cash.
He's like, oh, and he's shoving it back down into his jock. Sorry about that. Yeah, we have to call timeout. Guys, you dropped a hundy. Let's go. Thursdays are Friday Eve, and that's a reason to celebrate. No matter what you're looking for, they've got you covered every Thursday down in College Town. Centrale offers 50% off select pizzas all day, every Thursday. Or you can stop by Township for Taco Thursday. $2 house tacos, $2. Madison Social offers the Social Agreement. You and a buddy can split 1 Aurora wings, 2 Madso burgers, 2 bourbons, 2 proof Madison Socials, all for just $40. See what they did there? And don't worry about parking. Plenty of spaces available in the parking deck or surrounding lots. Check out all the Thursday College Town deals right now on Thursdaysincollegetown.com.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan, and it's time to roll out the 2018s to make room for the 2019s. So if you've been waiting for a model year-end deal, then come to Kraft Nissan today while the selection is good. We call it Pick 6 Savings, as in all 2018 Rogues, Altimas, Pathfinders, and Muranos are $6,000 off. So pick a Rogue, pick an Altima, pick a Pathfinder, or pick a Murano, and take $6,000 off, and that's what you pay. From S model to Platinum models, all models $6,000 off, and only at Kraft Nissan. And all Titan and Titan XD full-size pickup trucks are $10,000 off. Regular cab, extended cab, crew cab, gas or diesel, all 2018 Titans are $10,000 off. And we will give you $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade. That's $10,000 off all Titans and $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade, or a total of $12,000 in discounts on every Titan we sell at Kraft Nissan. But you better hurry. Pick 6 Savings end Monday. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco.
The All-Team All-American Tailgate Party is coming to 4 Points Hotel in Tallahassee Saturday morning, 8:30 to 11:30, September 29. Hello, I'm Brian Cerny, host of Tallahassee Talks. Join me for prizes, giveaways, and a fantastic buffet as we broadcast our entire show from the Bronze Ballroom, including an earlier recorded conversation with legendary coach Bobby Bowden. $5 at the door benefits the North Florida Red Cross. Find out more at TallahasseeTalks.com. Brought to you by Truck and Car Concepts.
Hey folks, welcome back to Truck and Car Concepts. It is tailgate season. It's time to secure your tailgate items. We can do that with the tonneau covers. We do alarm systems, both in the bed and the vehicle itself. And we also do camper shells or toppers. Not only that, let's dress your truck up. We got Nerf bars, we do window tinting, car stereos. Bringing out the tailgate pong. Everybody loves to play tailgate pong. Come on down to Truck and Car Concepts and get yourself ready for tailgating. 656-8800.
It's been called shell shock, war neurosis, and battle fatigue. Today, we call it post-traumatic stress disorder, and it affects 1 out of every 5 warriors returning from battle in Iraq and Afghanistan. The Wounded Warrior Project offers comfort and support for warriors with PTSD and all other scars of war, whether those scars are visible or hidden. Find out how to help, because for warriors, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. Please visit woundedwarriorproject.org.
Wow, E+ is great.
E+? Is that like A+?
It's better. The E stands for energy, but it should stand for easy.
Easy Plus?
Yep, easy ways to save energy, water, and money through the City of Tallahassee utilities. Easy ways to monitor our account, easy ways to pay our bill online, check our balance, compare usage history, and so much more.
And I see the City of Tallahassee Utilities has a smart bill, which sends our bill directly to our email inbox for easy payment online, too. What a time saver.
And when we download the City of Tallahassee's digital app, we can do everything on our phones, even report service issues like a power outage or blocked road.
Plus, when we go to talgov.com, we can get more information on other great City of Tallahassee utilities, like the Energy Star rebates and insulation grants. Wow, the E really should stand for easy.
Yep, E+ from the City of Tallahassee Utilities. It helps customers save energy, water, and money.
Widden Glass takes care of Tallahassee business. Local contractors know Widden Glass has been taking care of business since 1945. They prefer Widden Glass because of their precise window glass replacement, masterful shower enclosures, and storefront glass. Widden Glass will take care of you to your complete satisfaction. That's been Widden's way of doing business for over 70 years. When you call Wid Glass, you're dealing with experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best, like Widden's top-of-the-line bath enclosures that provide style and luxury at an affordable price. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Widden Glass. We'll help you design it and install it. We've done hundreds of storefronts in the Tallahassee area. That's why Widden is known for taking care of business. Widden Glass, the first name in glass replacement. Call 222-5781.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Don't forget, November to the 10th, Florida State taking on Notre Dame in South Bend. It's easily the road trip experience of the year. Head to GameDayExcursions.com today and get signed up the way Tom and I did. Enjoy a turnkey game day experience that includes a bottomless mimosa / Bloody Mary morning welcome reception, then a premium bus transportation to and from Chicago and South Bend, featuring an exclusive tailgate party steps away from the stadium, stocked with beer, food, and entertainment for all those who sign up. Go to GameDayExcursions.com. And, oh, by the way, they got a hotel block all set up for you for $189 a night at the W right there at Lakeshore. Use the promo code JCS at checkout to get $10 off your order. That's promo code JCS at GameDayExcursions.com. Yeah. I'll be interested to see what I think of Notre Dame by then, because I'm still look at them as one of the kind of the strange teams out there right now. I'm not real sure what they are. I know the quarterback change, and we'll see.
Crossing Chicago off the list, crossing South Bend off the list, and then whatever else happens. That's where I'm at for that.
A whole
trip.
bunch of list crossing.
Yes.
You're going to be in Chicago so briefly, though. You really have to go back to do Chicago right.
Well, I'll be up on Thursday.
Yeah.
So I'll get Thursday.
Very big city.
We do a show from ESPN studios in Chicago on Friday, which will be fun.
That's cool.
Yeah. Is it ESPN 1000, I think it is?
I'd forgotten we were doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to reach out to them in October. They said they're going to finalize that. So that's next week.
That kind of makes my day, buddy. That's a cool experience there. I'll look forward to doing that. Well, I mean, actually, if we're being honest, we just didn't think that the kind of conversation we'd be having about that game would be so resolute with, hey, what can we salvage? We're not talking about winning the game. We're talking about how not to get embarrassed and crossing off trips.
Right.
That's
if you're looking
not
to the
ideal.
If you're looking to the bucket list first, it means you're dead, right?
It hurts, man. It's just it's frustrating at this point. But at the same time, one thing I will say, and this is where it helps. If you're in your early 20s, let's say you're a student, and you you're angry, you really are frustrated by what you're seeing, and you say to yourself, no, man, come on, this is ridiculous. Why aren't you angrier? There was a time where I was angrier. And it's when football was all-consuming and there really wasn't any sort of perspective to be had on it all. But one of the good things about investing and caring about your team, your school, and football in general, whether that's emotionally or financially, whatever it might be, is that in time, you do grow to appreciate tradition in sport. It makes up the bigger picture, right, of it all. I mean, it's what makes not only you proud of your university, but want to be a part of those other traditions because you know how you feel about your own school. And then you look at what others feel about theirs and or the history of the sport. And you can't I'm not selling this now, I'm just saying if you've not been to Notre Dame, even though this is a lost season, it's a really cool experience. I mean, you can go lose, God forbid it happens this way, by 3 touchdowns, but you're still going to be there. You're going to be in South Bend. You're going to be at an historic locale.
Yeah, soak it up while you can. I've been there, guys. Now, your lows may be lower than the ones I experienced for the last decade, but just know, college kids, especially you juniors and seniors out there, I've been there, man. The worst part for us, Florida caught us and passed us in national titles when I was here. So, I know the bowl streak is in jeopardy in a way that's only akin to probably my 2009 year, which was my senior year #1 at Florida State. But I've been there as a lost Acadian, guys. I've been there. So you ever need some help? I got the experience with the grief counseling.
Well, what happens is obviously you then have a way to compare and contrast what is and what is not and what needs to happen to get to that place that you can be really excited about a season again. And you can tell right away, I mean, it's fairly evident that, A, we're a long way from that, but you also quickly learn how it can turn. I mean, since you brought up Florida, there was a stretch under Urban Meyer, including 2 national championships, that there's no way you would have predicted it to end the way that it did, in shambles and in need of a total overhaul. And then watching a series of failed coaches lose in embarrassing fashion and putting together 4-win campaigns. That's how quickly it can happen. Just as, by the way, I'm sure, obviously all of us, and I go back to me in the early 90s, and many of you maybe say in the mid-'80s as this thing got turned around, there was a stretch, obviously 14 consecutive seasons of top 4 finishes, where you could have never imagined that last year would look the way that it did, or that there would be seasons where you're fighting to become bowl eligible. You couldn't envision it, but it happens.
2013 kind of came out of nowhere. If you think about it, with Jimbo's era, 2010 was a season of hope. You know, we knew we didn't have the depth, but we got to the ACC title game. We won a quote-unquote future New Year's Six Bowl in the Chick-fil-A Bowl to get to 10 wins. And then we had a setback in 2011. That was a bad season, real bad season, to the point where in the bowl game, we turned it over to the young offensive line and said, have at it, boys.
It's Notre Dame.
We come back, beat Notre Dame. 2012, we thought was our year, and that was a really gutting and disappointing season. You know, remember, we were playing in the Orange Bowl, and we don't care. Jimbo was the one who cared the most about playing in the Orange Bowl. Nobody else did.
I went to the game with my wife, got into an argument with her on our way into the stadium because we were that forlorn. We were that upset about it.
And then 13, there's this meteoric rise that you didn't expect. You thought it was going to be in 12. We were a quarterback away, and then that kid plays like he did Monday night in Pittsburgh. And the rest is history. So it's funny how unexpected things can be, because we were just kicking ourselves about what we didn't do in 2012, and 13 was our season.
If you want to look at big picture stuff, think of the dire straits that Clemson found themselves in. So they tell Tommy Bowden to have a good day. They turn to Dabo Swinney, who most people had never heard of, had really never accomplished much in the coaching ranks, and he doesn't start off very well, and he is up against it. He's going to be fired. They're not good enough. They're an afterthought in the conference, let alone the country. And then they're not. Then suddenly, the guy we described as a buffoon begins to, A, convince people to come to school there, and B, win big games. This on the heels of giving up an historic amount of points to West Virginia in the Orange Bowl, where they're the laughingstock of football, and 70-plus points are being hung on them. And you would not have thought that we'd be looking at that team now as the benchmark of the league and one of the 2 or 3 best programs in all of college football, period. One that was alongside Alabama for a 3-year run. No way we would have guessed that.
And if this kid is as advertised a quarterback, they're going to be there for the next 2 or 3 years as well.
And by all accounts, he is as advertised. And that's now a program that is being run in such a way that it doesn't look like it's going anywhere anytime soon. Dabo figured it out, to his credit. And he hired good people, and he figured out what he didn't know and got people in there that could do those things. And then also, behind the scenes, has done a very good job of procuring commitments financially. From the IPTAY fund and boosters and people who care deeply about that school. He's also a guy that when you talk to Clemson people, and I have, they've grown to love because of what he's done in the community. So now it looks like we have a guy that is easily likable, cares deeply about the community, about the kids. The university has dedicated $1 million of his own money as well, but the product on the field is lacking. It's year one. It's not a referendum on his coaching. It is disappointing currently, but we will wait and see what happens. But you've got a guy who knows, in 2 years could have this thing flipped. If you procure, as Clemson did, big-time talent at key positions, including offensive line and quarterback, all of a sudden, you're winning 10, 11 games, and you're talking again about competing for a place in the college football playoff. And this was a speed bump. That's how it happens. And you live long enough, you see all of those stages. You live long enough, you go through the good and the bad. You see all of the times that you were at your wits' end and how quickly it can turn around. And that saves you when you're 2-2, hoping like hell you can eke out a win against a sorry-ass Louisville team.
I will say that if we had lost that Auburn game, I don't know what my mental state as a Nole fan would be right now. If we blew that game after that season and never cashed in on that roster, this would feel so much more hopeless. But because we actually did it.
It was just 5 years ago, too, so it's really fresh. I mean, it's not all that far removed. By the time that championship came around, remember, we hadn't won anything since 1999. So a long time had passed, and we were desperate. I mean, even those of us who went through and saw and witnessed and were in school during glorious times, me and my friends and people, I mean, golly, you didn't have a single season in the 90s where you were ever concerned about anything other than whether or not you could win the national championship. It was never about this game, that. It was the national title. And so by that time that happened, it had been a long time. You were just relieved, like, okay, good. There's been something won outside of the Bowden era, and it reestablishes us. amongst college football's elite. And that has resonated even to today. We have quickly fallen off. The program crashed and burned post-14.
Got to see the 90s for 3 years. 2012, there were expectations. We just didn't meet them. But it was national title expectations.
Sure.
13.
It happens, cashed in.
Yeah, we cashed in. We were cool on that till about mid-September. We thought, ooh, well, okay, now we got a winner right here. And 14, certainly there were. But 2015 and on, we knew 15 would be a rebuilding year, and then it's just kind of, into the side of the mountain.
And it plummeted it. It's led to all of the consternation we currently feel because there's off-the-field stuff going on that has people wondering and worrying, too. You worry about your conference and the TV deal. You worry about your budget. You worry about all these different things. And it's much harder when you're dealing with those things and you're losing football games. You can deal with all that other stuff if you're kicking ass. You think Clemson fans are sitting around worried about the ACC network?
Oh, no.
I mean, they're not, right? So this is what happens when you're not winning games, man. It all gets grouped together. And the hand-wringing is understandable. But it doesn't take much. It doesn't. It takes the right guy at quarterback. It takes certainly being able to block it up just a little bit. But how quickly that can turn. I mean, you get the guys I just went through, and I was half joking with all the stuff that I said about we need to bring in 20 offensive linemen. But seriously, if you are to bring in 8 offensive linemen and 3 of them pan out immediately, especially since these days apparently we're bringing in kids that are 6'7", 350, I mean, you can do some things. You're cooking with gas, man.
Yeah, you got to help those freshmen and sophomores that are undergrads right now. Because if you're a sophomore and your first year was that train wreck of a season where you're playing Alabama in the opening game, you think, all right, I'm here. I'm in Tallahassee, and it's the mecca of college football because we're playing Alabama, and let's see where we end. It's gone. And, you have to reschedule a game in December to become bowl eligible so you can go to Shreveport and win a bowl game. And then you have expectations this year, lethal simplicity, and you don't score a touchdown.
Poor Shreveport takes a beating on this show and headlines everywhere else. It's like once a week, somehow Shreveport comes up like it's their fault we sucked.
Well, I mean, maybe they'll host a national championship game at some point.
No, it's not going to happen. I'm just saying it makes me laugh. Like, our anger towards our own program gets taken out on Shreveport all the time. Like, and then we had to go to Shreveport. People in Shreveport are like, well, Jesus, guys. We're just a little town doing what we can. It's not our fault you can't block anybody. And the next thing you know, we lose next week, we'll be in Shreveport. I was born and raised in Shreveport. I like it here. What the hell, guys?
Your choices are El Paso or Shreveport. That's where we are these days.
Ooh.
Or just stay at home.
You don't want to go to El Paso, buddy. That was a jaunt. I don't have it in me anymore anyhow.
What's the worst city internationally you've ever been to? You're a traveler. You've been some places.
Yeah. No.
Or country. Is there a place where you're going, man, why am I here? This sucks.
Oh, no, I've enjoyed every country I've ever been to. I have. I've found something great about every country.
Well, usually you go to the touristy areas.
Yeah,
you're not trying to find a truck stop.
I'm not, I'm not in the middle of nowhere.
Croatia.
I mean, there are places. If you're in the military, you've probably seen a lot of places that you'd rather not be. But if you're, no. Worst places I've been are in this country, and that's not a damnation of this country. It's just a huge country.
Hey, man, I had to fill some gas, too, in Chiefland. We've all been there.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a huge country, so you're going to have spots where you go, ooh, okay. Probably somewhere in South Carolina. A couple of cities in South Carolina where I thought, ooh, I don't know here, man.
Remember the KFC?
No.
You don't remember that? I don't know if I should repeat the story on the air then.
The KFC?
Yeah.
Why were
Off the exit?
Why were we at a KFC?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't?
No, it ended up just being a KFC, and it was somebody's house.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That was in South Carolina. It was somebody.
We were getting off the exit to go to Clemson.
We can't, that's right. Yeah, see, there are places.
Oh.
I remember coming back from Washington, D.C., I was driving one time, and I got sidetracked somehow. Well, I know what it was. The highways were bumper to bumper, and I was trying to find a shortcut to get off the highway because it was driving me nuts. I wasn't moving. And I ended up in some godforsaken place that I really did fear for me and my family's well-being. It was just country-ass, just, oh, no, man. Just rebel flags. Just awful. Just, I thought, this is not good.
There's no cell signal, no
There's
TV.
No, there was, like, if we break down, this is a problem. This car is the most expensive thing in this city by far.
Right,
it's
if
not
you put
close.
everything else together.
I'm like, it's not close. This is not going to end well for us, guys. I'm so sorry. Your father's an idiot. It's that thing where so nothing's working and you turn to your wife because you're mad at yourself. And you're like, look at the damn map. Surely there has to be a way. Why am I driving in circles? You're getting angrier and angrier.
I've been on that side of it, sure. Yes.
I've been, where you're just kind of, and that's the way that was. That was disheartening. It's not disheartening, Tom.
Yeah, you could have used a good night's sleep that night, huh?
MyPillow.com. Use the promo code 979ESPN. But it toughens you up, man. You go through those experiences. It's a good thing. Brings you closer. Makes you realize you got to appreciate what you have.
Like sleep.
Good sleep on a comfortable pillow and how much you need it. I get that every night. Thanks to MyPillow. MyPillow.com. Right now, it's a buy one, get one special. As long as you buy one at a regular price, you get the other one for free. And they'll do that for you right now. Just use the promo code 979ESPN. Go to MyPillow.com. That's MyPillow.com. Use the promo code 979ESPN. Yeah, that's how that works. Jeff Cameron Show, 979 ESPN Radio. Football is in full swing, and so are the Milwaukee deals at Cornerstone Tool & Fastener. Almost every M18 brushless fuel kit has a $100 off trade-in. Or you can get $150 off trade-in on a 4, 5, or 6-piece M18 fuel combo kit. Buy a Milwaukee M18 High Demand 9.0 starter kit for only $259 and get a free brushless Sawzall. Milwaukee, upgrade, outwork, outlast. Cornerstone Tool & Fastener, the largest Milwaukee selection in the area. It's 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon.
You know what? It's time you level up your lemon lime with clear, refreshing Mountain Dew Ice. We get it. You're used to a certain kind of lemon lime experience. But why settle for this when you could have this? You want a fist bump that ends in one of those fake explosions?
Hey, Charles.
Or a fist bump that ends in an actual explosion?
Hey, Charles.
Want to pull up to the party on this? Or arrive in this? Take this last-second shot? Or make the last-second shot? Make this musical request? Or this one? So yeah, you can keep drinking the same old, but we think you'll like the exploding fist bump, last-second shot, showing up to the party properly way to lemon lime, right? Mountain Dew Ice. Clear, refreshing lemon lime, redefined.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
Have you ever noticed when you report an accident or a claim to an insurance company, they are very eager to get you to one of their approved body shops. They say that they guarantee the shop's work, but what they're really saying is the shop works for them, not the customer. So choose a shop that is working for and looking out for you, someone you trust. It's your choice. Lisa's Paint and Body.
License number MP46050. Eat, sleep, fish. Mike's Marine Supply and Skeeter Boats want to get you out on the open water. They're your local Skeeter dealer, custom rigged with Yamaha outboards. Stocked with a full line of Skeeter boats from the Bass to the Saltwater Bay Series, Skeeter has been recognized for 18 consecutive years as the leader in customer satisfaction for fiberglass outboard boats. Check in at Mike's Marine Supply for the spring specials starting soon. Located at 1296 Coastal Highway, Panacea, Florida, call Mike's Marine at 984-5637. Online at mikesmarinetallahassee.com.
Hi, this is Peter Bond, owner of Jerry's Cigar Shop. Jerry's has been a local favorite for cigar enthusiasts for the last 25 years. We have the largest walk-in humidors in town, filled to the brim with an amazing cigar selection. Relax in one of our leather chairs and enjoy an ice-cold beer or a glass of wine with your cigar. Jerry's is a great place to watch sports on our big flat-screen TVs and offers a comfortable setting for lively conversation. Visit our original store on Sharer Road or our new second location on Cary Forest Parkway. We hope to see you soon.
Thursdays are Friday Eve, and that's a reason to celebrate. No matter what you're looking for, they've got you covered every Thursday down in College Town. Centrale offers 50% off select pizzas all day, every Thursday. Or you can stop by Township for Taco Thursday. $2 house tacos, $2. Madison Social offers the Social Agreement. You and a buddy can split one Aurora wings, 2 Madso burgers, 2 bourbons, 2 proof Madison Socials, all for just $40. See what they did there? And don't worry about parking. Plenty of spaces available in the parking deck or surrounding lots. Check out all the Thursday College Town deals right now on ThursdaysInCollegetown.com.
Looking for a new place to watch your favorite sporting events? Hobbit American Grill with 3 locations to choose from. Just show them your stub. That's right, your ticket stub from any local sporting event for $1 pints and $3 crafts. BOGO Mondays every Monday with 50% off specials. Like or follow on Facebook to get all the details. PS4 tourneys, trivia, karaoke, darts, and more. Lots of daily lunch specials under $8. Happy hour specials daily and happy hour all day on Friday. The Hobbit American Grill.
Hello, radio friends. I'm here to tell you about Barbaritos. Our mission statement is farm fresh, so let's explain. We serve char-grilled, grass-fed beef, hormone-free chicken breasts, and grilled tofu for starters. Farm fresh means fresh avocados used to make guacamole, and tomatoes from the vine to craft fresh pico de gallo. Farm fresh means award-winning burritos, salads, and tacos customized for you. So come visit your local Barbaritos today and literally see for yourself. Barbaritos. We roll farm fresh.
Barbaritos. We make it fresh. You make it yours.
Seminole fans know barbecue, and Tallahassee's best southern barbecue is Willie Jewell's. Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue on Thomasville Road. Smoked on site 24 hours a day. Cooked low and slow the old school way. And every meal is served with a side of southern hospitality. And take advantage of the barbecue tailgate special. Pork brisket, chicken ribs, turkey, and wings with all the fixings to make your tailgate the place to pregame. Let Willie Jewell's take the stress out of your next tailgate or event. Willie Jewell's, 5442 Thomasville Road. Go Knowles!
Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
Scott Graham from Westwood One with a preview of Thursday Night Football as the primetime spotlight heads west to the LA Memorial Coliseum with Todd Gurley and the Rams taking on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. The Rams are 3-0 on the season, and head coach Sean McVay says that has a lot to do with the play of quarterback Jared Goff.
He's making plays that great players make, and that's why you feel fortunate to have him leading the way. I think you just see the ownership, the comfort level, as he's accumulating these reps against certain defensive structures or systems. He's putting these in the memory bank, and I think that shows up where he's more comfortable, and then guys are making plays as well. I mean, you look at it really, our offensive players, they consistently make big-time plays.
The Vikings are coming off a loss to the Bills last Sunday. Kenny Albert and Tony Baselli will have the call on Thursday Night Football.
Remember to listen to Westwood One's coverage of the NFL all season long. Right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio, Tallahassee's sports monster.
It's not going anywhere this winter. It's the only convertible like it. Let me get this custom cover on.
Hold on there, neighbor. Are you storing it with Sta-Bil in the gas?
Store it with what?
Sta-Bil Storage conditions gas so it doesn't break down into sludge and water, clogging and corroding engines, like someone else you might know.
Awesome! Can I borrow some?
Sure. After you return my leaf blower, my chainsaw, my weed
Sta-Bil Storage, available where fuel additives are sold. Till the tears run down from my eyes, Lord, somebody, ooh, somebody, can anybody find me somebody to love?
Alexa, play hits from Queen.
Okay.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
the Jeff Cameron Show, at least for today. Thanks for tuning to it, and a fine Redemption Thursday to you and yours. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you're going to listen live via the streaming free always. You can email the show if you like. It's JCS at 979ESPNradio.com. You can find me on Twitter. It's at JCameronShow. The WTSM app, good for your mobile devices. Hello, YouTubers. How the hell are you? If you want a Periscope, if you say, no, I'm diehard on the Periscope, Cameron, well, then you would go to the Twitter feed at 979ESPN Radio, and you could do just that. You know, basketball starts today, buddy.
I saw a still shot of Leonard Hamilton speaking to the assembled press. This excites me.
You know what I forgot about? I didn't forget about it. It's just a refresher course here. Terrence Mann is still here playing basketball. Sweet Jesus. That guy's 32 years old.
The one constant through all the years, Ray.
Just stop it there.
Has been baseball.
Terrence Mann is the answer.
Has been me.
Has been me. We did lose 4 starters, including 3 who wound up. If you think about this, going into last season, we had lost 4 starters, 3 that wound up going to the NBA. They had the record wins and all that other stuff, and we thought, doom and gloom going into last season, and then boom, Elite 8, baby. So you don't really know, and that tournament can be a crapshoot. But I do know that Florida State basketball has been on the uptick in a way that I think probably conjures up a little enthusiasm, right?
Well, yeah. If you look at our home record the last couple of seasons, it's the best,
it's the best in the country.
One of the top 2 or 3.
It's the best.
I forgot the graphic, but it's staggering what we're able to do at home. But last year wasn't without its ups and downs.
Well, they were a 20-win team, but they lost 11 times. They were 500 in the conference. They had to fight. That's the norm when you're in the ACC and you're Florida State. It's not normal to have the record that they had previous. It's not, those are rare expectations that you can have around here for this basketball program. But again, another 20-win season, another tournament-bound season that turned out to be an Elite 8 appearance. And now you've had back-to-back years where not only you've made the tournament, but you've gone beyond the first round. You've won a game. Oh, you won more than one game last year. But I'm saying when you become a program of significance that makes the tournament and wins a game in said tournament on the regular, that's how you begin to build momentum for every season. That's where every year you get excited because hey, look, this team's going to the big dance, and who knows, they might shake some things up if we get the right matchups.
Yeah, off-season momentum is probably not a real thing, but let's just be honest. We want to see this year how this team plays defense. Because they found it in the tournament last year. They found an ability to play both ends of the court. The explosive offense that we're looking for, the three-point touch that we've been talking about preseason, we've seen in ACC play the last couple of years, it was there. But it was the defense. It was the commitment to defense that put us in position to perhaps make a run to the Final Four. And that's what we're looking for this year. If you do more of that, then you might be able to account for some nights when you're not doing so well from the beyond the arc or wherever.
Yeah, they got to shoot better from beyond the arc, period. And I think Leonard was pissed about that last year. He thought they were a much better shooting team than they turned out to be from beyond the arc. They shot 35%, as he called it, average, I think, in his interview with Corey. And you're right. I thought they'd be a better shooting team than they were a year ago. They also shot poorly from the free throw line, which we think is infectious, as you just noted. But I feel like that's infectious. I feel like they were streaky there.
Well,
we
found ourselves a little bit in the postseason. Yeah. That was the key again. I mean,
yeah.
Savoy found himself, and if he's going to be your knockdown shooter, well, here's another opportunity for him. Now that he's made some big shots in key moments, you got to have a lot more confidence, and you got to have a lot more confidence in your defensive principles. This is Trent Forrest's team now, right? C.J. Walker transferred. So here you go, Trent. It's your year to be a superstar.
I'm excited. I'm sitting here talking about this with you, and I just was kind of contemplating where my head's at with all of this. Man, that was fun. The last 2 years have been a lot of fun to go over, and I don't have to sell it. I mean, they're not paying me, and this isn't just about being a Knoll. I legitimately, we've had the Great Vista, of course, too, but I've legitimately enjoyed, I've taken my son to some games, and you and I have hung out and watched some games together, and just, the product has been good. It's just legitimately been a good product. and I've enjoyed watching them play.
Well, and there's something unique about basketball. This is a segment at least once a month during the season. There's something emotional about watching a basketball game. That's just different. It's a different kind of
emotion. It gets a rise
emotion.
out of you. Runs. Lots of runs.
And so therefore
Good and bad,
your blood boils a little bit more during those games. So football, you kind of know what to expect. You can predict for the most part. Beyond, calling this team a 10-win team, forgive me.
Oops.
But you can kind of predict what's going to happen overall in a game. And in basketball, the runs and how important they are on the road at Cameron, or if you got Miami here in town, and what it means to whether or not you're on the correct side of the bubble or not. You know how slim the margin is in this conference. So every game means a whole lot. Like big time Boston College here last year. That was the game for all the marbles.
It's interesting. You're talking about basketball and the joys of it, and then expectations in football. And we got football tonight, both Miami that takes on North Carolina and the Rams and the Vikings. And I'll talk more about the Rams and the Vikings in a minute. But there's been a growing concern. I'm segueing here just because this knowing what to expect stuff kind of triggered this thought. There have been 34 roughing the passer calls already this year. And 3 of those are against Clay Matthews, and I've yet to see one that was an actual roughing that Clay Matthews has committed, but all 3 have been flagged. And those have been very controversial, obviously. Well, the league was forced to comment now because there was an NFL Network report earlier this week that the committee members in the NFL that had kind of wanted the rule changed and applied differently were unhappy with the way that the rule had been applied. And so specifically in regards to hits like the Clay Matthews couple, at least 2 of those 3, and the executive vice president of football operations, Troy Vincent, was forced to comment on it. And he said they determined there would be no changes to the point of emphasis approved this spring for the rule. And he said that the reason that was the case was that they wanted to ensure consistency in the officiating of the rule, and the committee clarified techniques that constitute a foul. So they're going back to their officials and saying, we need to look closer at techniques. That's their way of saying we're making changes to how it's called without saying they're making changes to how it's called. That's them pointing officials inside going, dude, guys are allowed to hit the quarterback. You can't throw a flag because somebody hits the quarterback. These are the techniques we're trying to get rid of. And to me, it all has to do with the weight, the body weight thing. When you drive a guy and then land all your weight on him, that's what they're trying to get rid of. They've already basically done a good job of eliminating headshots. I got that. Started out way back when it used to be 2.5 steps, 2 steps. How many steps do you get before you're allowed to hit a guy or not allowed to hit a guy? We've slowly whittled it down now to a place where I think we have a pretty good grasp of what is unnecessary about unnecessary roughness, right? But the thing that has happened so far this year, and I'll be curious to see tonight, is that many of these games have seen the integrity of the contest affected by these new rules or the way that it's implemented. You cannot do that. People will stop watching football. I feel like the boy who cried wolf, I keep saying this, it's ludicrous. It worked in our favor and it's worked against us as Bucs fans. We've seen it both ways. The Saints game, it worked in our favor not once but twice, where I didn't think either one of those was roughing. And at the same time, it's worked against us when Gerald McCoy barely bumps Ben Roethlisberger, who's a behemoth.
Well, the blow to the helmet, too, is ridiculous. It wasn't.
It's not a blow to the helmet. The spirit of that rule has to be taken into account. Man, that's not a clubbing. That is somebody barely nudging somebody on a blow-by. Just come on, man. Common sense stuff.
Yeah, I agree. And if I'm the officials who are getting yelled at by the league, I say, screw you. This is what you told me to do. How do you want me to legislate this?
I'd hate it if I were an official, but I really think we're going to have to get – it's so funny because I don't want to be the idiot who can't understand that player safety is at the core of what we're talking about in saving the sport. I get it. I understand why they've done so many of the why they've enacted so many of the rules changes that they have. At the same time, I think you can clearly cross a line. You have to understand the sport is inherently violent, and that's just the way it's always going to be if played the way we know football to be played.
Frankly, I think they should just get it over with now and say the quarterback is not truly live unless he tucks the ball and starts running with it.
I won't watch the game.
You wouldn't?
No, I would not watch that.
If they just called it as it is.
What's the point of having a pass rusher?
You get to him and it's a sack.
You tag him?
Yeah, it's like
when you watch
watching the scrimmage.
No, I don't like to watch the spring game. I don't like to watch scrimmages.
Do you want the quarterback healthy or not?
No. Screw him. That's part of the game.
That's your answer. That's not the league's answer.
No, but what I'm saying is the league is going to lose. And I'm a tolerant dude. I get the need to increase safety. I won't watch that. I won't talk about it either. We'll be screwed. We'll have to figure something out because I will not talk about it. If they ever do that, if they say...
That's where they want to go. All I'm saying, and I would prefer it be the way it was before this season started greatly. But I don't want this middle ground crap. Either go all the way or don't. It's Walter White. No half measures.
Well, the problem is, though, they're hiding behind this. They're saying, no, these rules have been in place since 1995. It's like the immigration debate where people are like, oh, there are immigration laws on the books we've just never enforced, which is true to varying degrees, right?
Sure.
They're saying, oh, these rules on quarterback hits have been in place since 1995. We just haven't done a good job of enforcing them. I say nonsense. That's not true. That's simply not true.
Not like this. It's I don't care what the rule book said. There's a reason that officials didn't legislate the game the way that the rule read, if the rule read like that.
I think
if they're saying that the rule was like this all the way, the whole time, there's a reason why we're not. There's a reason why in '96
there roughing the passer rules with a specific emphasis on the use of body weight with a defender, they say has been in since '95. Well, if it has been, they should have called it because I agree with that rule. I agree with that rule.
If it has been, and whether or not you agree with that rule, then there are probably 40 or 50 quarterbacks who could sue the league. Because they can't walk now.
Here's the deal.
If I'm Troy Aikman, I'm saying, really? So that's been on the books.
But see, what they never used to call, and they could have called forever, and Romanowski would have never been in the league, was the launching to the head area. That used to happen all the time, and you go, he's knocked out. I mean, it was blatant. They should have been always calling that, and everybody's in favor of those kinds of calls. This bumping guy's, a second late, or my hand hits you in the chest after you're thrown, or I'm blocked into your thigh and it's below your waist, you're going to call? No.
Yeah, I'd say the quarterback's not live, and that's just the way it is. If this is what you want to do, just skip all this half-measured nonsense.
I don't think they can win fans that way. I think they will steadily lose fans, and that will be the end of the game as we know it. You're not going to watch that. I don't watch 7-on-7. I don't watch arena football because nobody can get a stop. What's the point?
Well, you could still blow it dead if you're within a range of the player. Well, what I'm saying is, okay, I'm not arguing for this. I'm just arguing as though I was on that side of the bench.
If you're within a certain range of a player, we're going to blow it dead.
Well, that's how they do it when a quarterback's not live in a practice or a scrimmage.
Right.
Yes.
So the benefit of me having a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers who can move, or Big Ben who can break a tackle.
Well, when he breaks the pocket, he's live. It's very simple.
No, but what about within the pocket where you touch my shoulder, but I'm 248 pounds. You're not bringing me down with that. All of those benefits that big quarterbacks have, or those that are just nimble within the pocket.
Gone. Well, you get the benefits if you're Ben Roethlisberger of a smaller quarterback. See Monday night. You're getting the benefit of Gerald McCoy breathing on you, and you get a 15-yard flag.
No, you should always have the same rules. Whether you're 300 pounds or 150 pounds, the rules apply across the board. But what we're saying is those aren't penalties. Those aren't penalties.
I agree.
Yeah. And if you're going to call the game to where two-hand touch is now in play.
I'm just saying make a two-hand touch or a one-hand touch for a quarterback if this is where you want to go. Because you're going to drive people crazy for saying it's one thing and then it's quite the opposite on a Sunday or a Monday night. That's all I'm saying. Just make it one or the other. This right down the middle nonsense. Man. It's going to affect playoff games. It's going to affect a Super Bowl.
It affects the results of games. It's already doing that. The hubris of this league, I'm telling you, it's a lawsuit thing. I get it. It's billions of dollars. It's all that. But
well, it's TV ratings. This one's for ratings. It's not for a lawsuit. This one's for Aaron Rodgers gets hurt. We get fewer eyes on sets for Monday Night Football or the playoffs.
But Aaron Rodgers wouldn't be in favor of this. None of them would.
No, because this is the billionaires talking. You're hurting my paycheck.
I wonder how many owners. Well, you might be right. You might be right. I mean, I get that, but I wonder if owners, most of the owners, not all, most of the owners are passionate football fans.
I think they're money men before they're passionate football fans.
Without question. But I think that second they fear fans turn off is that they get involved. And I don't.
That's the interesting debate.
Yeah.
Is I think they would say to you, do more fans turn off the television because we're making it easier for quarterbacks to exist, or do they turn it off more because Aaron Rodgers is hurt and so is Drew Brees, and now I have Sam Bradford.
Drew Brees never gets hurt, by the way. That guy is.
Now I have Sam Bradford versus McCown on Monday Night Football. Which one is going to turn off the TV more? The fan who has to watch that crap?
When a team loses a game more than once or a playoff game at some point because of this nonsense where you barely touch somebody and they throw a flag because they're so hell-bent on saving quarterbacks, that's it, man. You lose people one by one. That's
I don't know. People still watch after the catch rule was asinine.
And it's still asinine to some degree. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men on a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Lager. Spread your wings. Spread my wings and let it ride. DJ Youngling and Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please drink responsibly.
My heart skips skipping the beat. You're not close enough, so that space between you and me, let's lose it. The way you're dancing, swaying to the music, girl, that body and how you move it. Every time you cross my mind, girl, I lose it.
Alexa, play the Country Heat playlist. Okay.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Parker Brothers Roofing says don't play games with your roof. Protect your home and your family. The Parker Brothers tell you the truth. We'll fix your roof, 'cause it's what we do. With quality, integrity, and pride. Parker Brothers Roofing, professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
Hey, this is Wendell Parker of Parker Brothers Roofing. Most startup companies go out of business within their first 3 years. It takes years of experience for a roofing company to be exposed to and learn all the things that can go wrong. Don't gamble your valuable home to an inexperienced roofer. Parker Brothers has been in business in the community since 1995. Give us a call now at 656-8112.
Parker Brothers Roofing, professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
CGC 042221, CCC 049350.
This football season, cater your tailgate with Guthrie's. Guthrie's is a family-owned and operated restaurant that has been proudly in business for over 50 years. Since 1978, everybody has been falling hard for those golden fried chicken fingers, crispy fries, buttery Texas toast, creamy coleslaw, sweet tea, and of course, the signature sauce. Guthrie's is perfect for a school night dinner, tailgate party, or both. 2 Tallahassee locations, North Monroe Street or 1818 West Tennessee. Guthrie's Chicken, creator of the original chicken finger box and sauce.
Tallahassee has always loved the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachia Parkway for its delicious food, cold drinks, and Vegas wall of 8 50-inch flat-screen TVs. Now, the Corner Pocket gives you a new reason to start off every week at the CP, Monday Night Mania. Enjoy 50-cent wings and $5 domestic pitchers of beer every Monday night from 7:30 till 11 p.m. That's right, 50-cent wings and $5 domestic pitchers as you enjoy Monday night on the gridiron. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill and Monday Mania. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Redemption Thursday. Football. Ryder Cup at 2:50 in the morning or whatever it is.
2:10 is when the first group goes off tomorrow.
2:10 in the morning. A little college football. Good day to be at Madison Social, Centrale, places like that. Centrale offering 50% off select pizzas all day today. Township's got $2 tacos. $2 tacos. What are we doing here? And you can also get from Madison Social, split an order of a wings with your buddy, 2 Madso burgers, 2 bourbons, and 2 Madison Social ales. Proof ales is what they are from Madison Social. They're good stuff. All for $40. Parking has been remedied. That's the whole thing. It's free parking. No problem. Just park wherever. You're good to go. Fit for all ages. Great food. No hassle. Great service. Visit ThursdaysInCollegetown.com for more details. You going to get up at 2:10? No, you won't do that.
Not 2:10, no.
That's absurd.
Well, you've got, let's see, they go off every 15 minutes or so, right? So that means that you're going to have the 4 groups off by about 3 in the morning. You get to 5:15, which is where I'm going to wake up. I'm watching about 9 holes worth of golf on the DVR, and then I'm caught up by 6:15. But I do plan on being up before 5:20 tomorrow morning. Yeah.
I was impressed. I saw your tweet this morning, and I said he's tweeting because he does want people to know he's up at 5-something in the morning because it doesn't happen.
Well, you're lonely at that time. I think that's why, if you did a pie chart of why people tweet, I think loneliness is probably the biggest piece of the pie.
Pretty high on the list.
Yeah, and I felt a little lonely that early in the morning.
Oh, it's the best. It's so quiet. And
I pulled up the YouTube clip. It's extended 2016 Ryder Cup highlights. And it's about 58 minutes in length, and it gives you all 3 days. And it's awesome. It's in full HD quality. I recommend this to people tonight.
I see.
But that's when I thought, man, those freaks that are wearing the bald eagle caps, that's
hilarious.
awesome. Let's snap a photo and tell the world, hey, it's time, baby. Let's
get it on. Well, I watched the introductions today. We had an opportunity to kind of sit back and watch some of that. And one thing I like about that event, man, is they certainly embrace the humanity of all, right? Like, you can be hardcore, I'm rooting for the USA, and they can be, I'm all about Europe, but everybody acknowledges just how much fun that event is, how stressful it is, and how it challenges you in really every aspect of the game as a competitor, but they all admire one another. It's pretty cool. So that came out in the ceremony more than anything else.
Well, it's going to be raucous tomorrow. Now, I was talking to a friend I made over in Brighton, England, about this, and saying, hey, man, you ready for this? Because now we can be kind of punchy rivals. And he said, well, I was listening to the BBC, of course, the radio this morning, and they had a guest on who was covering the event, and it was a French analyst. And the person said, the problem with this thing is if you get a European crowd, then it's going to be a great atmosphere. But if you get a largely French crowd, it's an event that they're going to, and it's not life and death the way it typically is if it's played in England.
They're fairly indifferent about a lot, yes.
Right. Well, think about it. They don't have a player. They don't have a history of great golf in France. John Van de Velde is their most famous golfer of all time, and he's known for not winning, if that makes sense. And they're there to see Tiger mostly is what the people are saying.
Well, that was evident today when they announced him.
Yes.
When Furyk announced his team, and then Tiger was the last to be announced. And when they announced him, the place went nuts. I'm sure the Europeans had to be like, well, okay, guys, really? We're here. We're right here on the same stage. Come on.
Yeah, my buddy Tim said that on that radio interview that the French really only care about something if it's a sport where you run or you cycle. And that's it. In golf, you don't run. So they just don't have a passion for it. It's not in their blood the way it would be in Scotland or anywhere in England, really.
Yeah. No, it's it'll be interesting to see how the crowds react. We don't know the kind of crowds that we're going to have. I do know that as far as anybody paired with Tiger, it will be well followed and well respected. That crowd went nuts for him. So he's not going to be shouted down the way that some of the players will be who are easily identified as being rather sensitive. For example, might Justin Thomas have a hard time in a Ryder Cup situation given that he has people removed from events here in America merely because they're rooting for somebody else?
Yes. Well, they're rooting for the ball to get in the bunker. Oh, no.
Oh.
It's really influencing the way the ball flies in the air,
Hurt
sir.
my sensibilities.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I think you did too. because we watched the intros separately. When they announced that Brooks was going first, I thought, this is perfect.
That's perfect.
That is the attitude. That is
not afraid.
The unflappable presence in the face of as rowdy as those people are going to be. That's the guy you send out there.
Whole lot to get you some. In addition, by the way, if you're up late, say you're excited for Minnesota and Los Angeles tonight, which would have been a great game. I actually kind of feel sorry for the NFL right now in this regard. That game should be, in some ways, in a preview of the NFC Championship, if you're just going by odds before the season. But Minnesota comes in terrible form. It's on a Thursday night, which I don't like when they do that. I like the teams to be where they need to be. I don't know that this is going to end up measuring up the way. For example, that number tonight gives you an idea of what people are thinking about Minnesota right about now. It's 7.5. I mean, that game should have been preseason. We would have been talking about this tonight, 8:20 as a 1 or 2 point game, maybe 3.5, maybe for the home field. That also said, there's a weird story a sad story. I'd call it a sad story surrounding this game. Have you read what's going on with Everson Griffen?
Yes, and the mental breakdown that he's purported to be having right now.
Well,
absolutely.
I'll tell you something. I mean, this is, we do a sports show, but sometimes we get into serious matters, and obviously you don't want to see anybody going through mental distress like this. But when you read that story, it's scary, especially scary in this sense. And I'll read this to you. This came out today. There have been a lot of follow-ups on his situation. But he was not on the sideline during the team's Week 3 game against Buffalo. For those that are undoctrinated in this story, you don't know. He needed more time while hospitalized due to personal health-related issues. That was originally reported according to Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network. But then there was a police report incident that was filed over the weekend. So he misses the game, and then this is filed where there was concern. The Vikings personnel, people in the building, were the ones who called to report on Griffen's behavior. So his employers are saying, this isn't good, and they're seeing it up close and personal. He had been screaming. He was explosive. He was yelling at the team facility. It had happened more than once in the last couple of weeks. He was growing, as they put it, increasingly paranoid. He feared, as he told them, that somebody was trying to kill him. He then went to he was at a hotel called Hotel Ivy on Saturday, where he was alleged to have threatened the staff with violence if he could not get into his room. Now, that was later refuted. Mike Zimmer's been asked about it. He said our only concern is for his well-being. He was not arrested in the incident. Police did not arrest him as a result of the hotel incident, but it included him lying down on the lobby floor. The cops wrote in their report, possibly under the influence of, they didn't know what, but something was going on. He refused to get up, and there was just a lot of confusion about what would happen. He did allegedly at one point say that he would shoot somebody if he was not allowed to go back to his room peacefully. The police department went, well, hold on, and they were able. Now, that's a good job by the cops in that situation, talking him down off the ledge and recognizing mental instability rather than just pulling a piece, and so you got a guy threatening in that situation. So all that's not good.
A giant person.
A very, very, yes. The second report came in was that he tried to break into a teammate's house at some point, and Trey Waynes. But then at the time Griffen was asked about it, quote, "God made me do it," was the quote. Now, Trey Waynes has disputed that and said, there was no attempted break-in into our home. We never felt fear, me and my family. We are friends with the Griffen family. We do want to support him in any way possible. Now, that's I don't know what happened there, but that's a friend clearly being a friend, obviously. But his wife, to go follow up on this, and why I say it's getting increasingly scary, has reported that the last 3 weeks he hasn't been acting normal at all, and she's fearful for the family situation. At one point he woke up in the middle of the night and just left the house and didn't give any reason why, and she said that he sometimes does that, quote, when he's fighting the demons. Okay, so look, I'm not having fun at anybody's expense here. Clearly he's got mental instability. Football may not be what we need to be worried about here at any point anymore, like ever again for him. The more we're learning about all of the effects on the brain, I don't know if this is directly correlated, but come on, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem. I guess what I'd ask you here is what I thought was odd is that we're talking about a time period of lasting a couple of weeks.
Given how much damage a person like that could do if he decided to follow through on a threat, even if it was just with his bare hands. Yeah, I mean, you're living on a razor's edge of danger for a long time. I don't know. It's hard to know what his day-to-day behavior was like beforehand. Clearly, this is out of the norm, but was he an aggressive, big talking personality so people thought he was just kind of kidding around, or he was locked in for a game week, or is he really intense? I don't know what Everson Griffen is like in, say, September of 2016 versus now, but there's no doubt that he needs help, of whether it's permanent help or something just to get him over a really bad hump in his life. Yes, Thursday night football in L.A. is the last thing you got to be thinking about.
Jumped out of a moving ambulance for fear that somebody on the ambulance was going to shoot him.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
it feels like CTE come to life, but you just
don't
know.
You
don't
can't
know.
And I probably it's probably irresponsible of me even to mention that, but you do. You're watching a situation and you're thinking about the violence of football, and you're thinking about brain injury,
dementia,
and coupling, and all that stuff, and you're thinking about that, but a family's involved. I do think the Vikings have done the right thing here. They repeatedly said when they're asked about that question, is like, we're not worried about the football player, we're about the man.
And then you take that very heavy story, put it to the side, and assess how that affects the game. Well, that affects the game greatly. He is one of the premier pass rushers or effectors of the quarterback in the sport.
You did a good job of helping me get back to where I was going to try to go, and then felt like a bad person for doing so, because I did want to note it's a big deal he's not playing, without saying that I think it's important that he play, because obviously he shouldn't be playing, but it affects the damn game. And we are talking about tonight's game, and it would have been a great game. Now, it's not just that he's missing, but there are a lot of things not going right for the Vikings right now. You really do feel like, and this may be unfair so early in the season, but you feel like the Vikings are teetering already.
Well, I can tell you in watching a good amount of Vikings football.
Yeah, I know that you do.
They're on TV2 for me, essentially. So if I'm watching the Vegas Wall, that's the first place my eyes go if the Bucs are in commercial break. I will never trade a Buccaneers play for a Vikings play, I assure everyone.
No.
That the offense just doesn't have its own rhythm and identity yet. A couple of things I found very confusing are even when Dalvin was healthy in week 1, he would be absent from the rotation for long spells
stretches.
of the game.
Yeah.
Latavius Murray would come in for a drive or two consecutively, and you're thinking, is Dalvin hurt? And maybe he was. Maybe this hamstring has been an issue for him the whole time. But that throws the offense completely out of rhythm, and Kirk Cousins is still trying to find his receivers. And I will say one thing that I noticed last weekend, Kirk was missing a couple of receivers, but they're not generating the separation that you saw from Minnesota last year. So I don't know what that is, but we've seen it at Florida State in the past, just watching in the stands. There are some games where the receivers can get all kinds of separation, and there are others where they're blanketed. And it seems like nobody's open right now. So if you don't have your premier tailback and nobody's getting open, and when they are, he's missing throws, you got big-time problems on your hands.
Their one hope tonight, if you are interested in that game, is that, okay, so you're the Vikings, and you can't tell whether or not Dalvin Cook's going to give it a go. He's probable, but he's got a hamstring issue. If that's anywhere close, then Latavius Murray's going to get the carries. Not nearly the same explosive element to his game as Dalvin Cook's. But the one good thing you have going for you is that Marcus Peters is out for the Rams, and then the aforementioned Aqib Talib. So they've got secondary issues there. Maybe you get right throwing the ball.
They've got secondary issues, and the best half of football that Cousins played really was the second half of the Green Bay game. He threw for 4 bills in that game, and it shows you that he's still capable of being everything that they signed him to be. But the one thing I'll throw to the Bucs and Bears for a minute. The one thing I was happy to see is that the Bucs are on a short week, but the Bears at least were in Arizona, so their schedule was kind of it was messed up. They're playing an afternoon game in Arizona, and by that I mean 4 p.m. So at least you have some semblance of a balancing out effect. Well, the Rams played the Chargers in L.A. last week. Meanwhile, Minnesota's got to get on a plane on a short week without their best pass rusher, maybe not their tailback, and a whole host of off-the-field concerns and issues and distractions while the Rams are ready to go.
So if you're wondering about which direction Big Daddy J is leaning, I think Tom and I just laid it out there for you. Can I add one final stat ailing the Minnesota Vikings? Kirk Cousins has been pressured 62 times so far this season. That's the most in the NFL by a lot. So they can't block it up. Their good players are hurt. The receivers aren't separating.
The interior of the line, it's been Reef up the middle. That's been a disaster, especially last game.
Man alive. So all of this says, go heavy with the Rams tonight, kids. There you go. See what we do?
That window may have been just one of these. Whoop.
Yeah.
Up and closed.
Grand opening, grand closing. Plato missed a 29-yard field goal a couple years ago.
Oh, you mean in Seattle. I forgot about that one.
You kind of got to make that kick.
Against Seattle. It was in Minnesota. They were outdoors that year.
Yeah, he's home. He misses a point-blank kick.
Gopher Stadium.
Shiggity-doo.
Oh, my God.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Including an earlier recorded conversation with legendary coach Bobby Bowden. $5 at the door benefits the North Florida Red Cross. Find out more at TallahasseeTalks.com. Brought to you by Sellers Tile. Every day, Sellers makes life a little better for homeowners, helping them find the best design ideas for their homes with the best quality tile, carpet, and hardwood flooring. Even mosaics, ceramic, and vinyl solutions are at their fingertips in their remarkable showroom. Maybe it's time for you to get the Sellers advantage for your home or office. Find them on Capitol Circle Northeast, just north of Mahan Drive, or online at sellerstile.com. For style, quality, and design, get the Sellers advantage. In Tallahassee, call 656-8453.
My heart skips skipping a beat. You're not close enough, so that space between you and me, let's lose it. The way you're dancing, swaying to the music, girl, that body and how you move it. Every time you cross my mind, girl, I lose it.
Alexa, play the Country Heat playlist. Okay.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Wow, E+ is great.
E+? Is that like A+?
It's better. The E stands for energy, but it should stand for easy.
Easy Plus?
Yep, easy ways to save energy, water, and money through the City of Tallahassee utilities. Easy ways to monitor our account, easy ways to pay our bill online, check our balance, compare usage history, and so much more.
And I see the City of Tallahassee Utilities has a smart bill, which sends our bill directly to our email inbox for easy payment online, too. What a time saver.
And when we download the City of Tallahassee's digital app, we can do everything on our phones, even report service issues like a power outage or blocked road.
Plus, when we go to talgov.com, we can get more information on other great City of Tallahassee utilities, like the Energy Star rebates and insulation grants. Wow, the E really should stand for easy.
Yep, E+ from the City of Tallahassee Utilities. It helps customers save energy, water, and money.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
FSU fans know where to get the best barbecue. Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue, 5442 Thomasville Road. Old School Barbecue, cooked low and slow. Find out for yourself what all the buzz is about. And when it comes to tailgating, Willie Jewell's does it best. Get the barbecue tailgate special, pork, brisket, chicken, ribs, turkey, and wings with all the fixins. Ready to make your tailgate the place to pregame. The football team has new blood, but when it comes to barbecue, it's old school. Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue, 5442 Thomasville Road. Go Noles.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Did I see that right? I got to look at this again. Wait a minute here. Golly. Sometimes when you're, when a season is lost for a team, any team, and I'm talking about baseball right now, but it's true of any team, you write them off. If they're not your favorite team, you're not going to pay close attention to them other than to note maybe when you want to bet against them or something like that. I don't know why I wasn't aware of the fact that the freaking Baltimore Orioles have 112 losses currently.
Sirs, as you'd like to say.
112 losses on the season currently for the Baltimore Orioles. 112. They won last night. That's a big to-do when you have an 162-game season and already you've amassed 112 losses. Think about that. That's where baseball hurts. Like if you go 81-81, you have enough nights over the course of a very long season where you hit the hotel room bed, lay down, and you feel pretty good about yourself. Got us a win tonight. All right. You lose 112 times. There's a lot of opportunity to feel deflated, to say the least. Like, what am I doing? Like existential crises type things going on in these ball players' minds at this point. That's the most laughable damn thing. That is unbelievable.
Buddy, that's essentially 4 months worth of losing.
Just getting your ass kicked every night. You go home and you're like, well, at least we're at home, where we're 27-50. So think about it from the fan standpoint.
Right.
Like, well, I like Camden. I've been to Camden a million times. Let's go out there to Utah Street and get some Boog's barbecue and have a good time. And then watch us lose, most assuredly.
So they're 27-50.
At home.
Which means their road record is absolutely putrid.
19-62.
I believe that was the year the Mets were formed.
That is great. They're 19-62. on the road.
Forgive the little sweet. I didn't do the math there on the wins.
Yeah.
So I knew there was 62 losses, but they don't have 20 road wins.
19. They got 19 road wins.
And they're done. They're done playing on the road. So they finished the year. They didn't get to 20 road wins.
20 road. Sweet Jesus. Their run differential on the season is minus 269.
Not nice.
It's not even close to, and there's nobody even close to that. That's an ineptitude that we have been largely overlooking and should not have. I mean, that is remarkable. Nobody else, let me double check this. Hold on while I'm here. Nobody else, I'm sorry, the Miami Marlins are minus 225. Those are the only two teams at minus 200 anything. And the Orioles sit atop the list at minus 269. My God.
I know I haven't talked about it much this year because they're terrible, and this is still kind of a backhanded compliment to a bad team. But just to brag on Jacob deGrom's season for a moment.
You going to do the if they had scored 4 runs a game? Did you see that stat?
Oh, I did. Yeah, but that assumes that he pitches a complete game.
Complete game. Yeah, that's the stats are all kind of weird.
That'd be 31-0 or whatever.
30-0. Yeah.
But deGrom is the second pitcher since ERA became official in 1913 with a sub-2 ERA, 250 or more strikeouts, and fewer than 50 walks in a season. The only other player to ever do that since 1913. One time, Pedro Martinez in 2000. Now, I get that the game is more about striking out than it was even in 2000. But still, that's a sub-2 ERA. You can't fake your way to a sub-2 ERA in the 3 true outcomes era. He only gave up more than 3 runs one time this season. It was way back in mid-April.
No, he's sensational. He's going to win the Cy Young, and he should. One thing to note here, it's been a weird season. So I just got done talking about Baltimore's futility, and it is legendary at this point. Thanks for the 19 road wins, clowns. But this is where baseball concerns you if you're a Red Sox fan. The Red Sox currently sit at 107-52. So they are the exact opposite of that sorry-ass Baltimore club.
Do they have 20 road wins?
Yes. Yeah. In the first week of the season, they won all 20.
Happened to be in Baltimore, actually. Yeah.
The Red Sox interplay today at 107-52. It's not just the best record in the majors this year, but it's on pace for one of the best records in the history of the game. The center fielder is going to win the MVP. The right fielder is going to win, has a chance, nearly won the Triple Crown, I should say. They're by far and away the best team in baseball. So if you're a Red Sox fan, all that's left. You've done everything there is to do. You've been dominant. You've had a dominant pitcher. You've won on the road. You've won at home. You're having a historically great season. And then there's this. October looms. All that's left is to cash it in. And over the last few decades, that's not a guarantee. Since the advent of divisions and the League Championship Series in 1969, 12 teams have had the best regular season record in the majors and gone on to win the World Series. That's it. Just 12. That's pretty amazing. Since 1969 to 2017, can you just out of
trying
curiosity,
to think of who finished the job?
Okay, well, one of them you should get.
Yeah, 86 Mets.
Okay, 86 Mets. The 2016 Cubs were the most recent.
Okay.
Prior to that,
I feel like the Yankees teams did it towards the end of the century.
Okay, so 2013, the Red Sox did it.
Okay.
And that's the championship that everybody forgets about for the Red Sox.
That's
that
the
was
David Ross year. Yeah.
It's just a weird anomaly. Like, they were terrible the year before, and then all of a sudden they won the whole thing, and then they went away again.
When they wore the roadies with the black numbers.
Yeah, so the Red Sox did it in 2013. In 2009, the Yankees did it.
Okay.
I'd forgotten about that.
The A-Rod title, yeah.
In 2007, the Red Sox did it again.
That makes total sense. They beat the snot out of Colorado. Yeah.
Well, I thought it was the Cardinals. Oh,
the Cardinals were the curse-breaking year.
Yeah, okay, that's
07
right.
was the Rockies.
You're correct. The 98 Yankees did it.
Okay.
The 89 A's did it. The 86 Mets did it. Obviously, the 84 Tigers did it. That's one of the great teams of all time. The 78 Yankees did it. 76, Big Red Machine, 75, 76, the Reds did it. And the Orioles in 1970. In 71, the Orioles went back to the World Series where they fell to the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Holy smokes. So they made the series 3 years in a row because the Mets beat the Orioles in 69.
Yeah, they were a dominant team.
Huh. Only walked away with one, though.
Yeah. No. And in 79, they played the Pirates again and had a 3-1 lead in the World Series and lost it to the Pirates.
The original Golden State Kevin Durant thing,
It's a beautiful thing. Willie Stargell would not be denied. If Boston does manage to go to the distance, they'll join amazing company, as I just mentioned. The Big Red Machine, obviously the 86 Mets. That Yankees team in 98 finished 114-48.
Yeah, I knew one of them was otherworldly good. Yeah.
So I don't know, just interesting, something to think about there, that only 12 times that it's happened. And that's the thing, when you've got a great team, when you've solidified that you've got a great team, it's great because it makes for a really easy drive. The regular season is just a nice, easy drive through rolling hills. You're going to win 2 out of 3 in almost every series you play. You kind of already know that. You've watched this team establish themselves as dominant. The way that Seattle team did, that ended up, losing in the playoffs to the White Sox. And you know, those are the things that you think back on. There have been some great teams that came up short, just as there have been some pretty average to bad teams. The 83-win Cardinal team. So
yeah, 2006. Yeah, I was there.
So it's pretty amazing.
Well, that's the thing, though. So one of my teams, and we talked about this, I think maybe yesterday or Tuesday. The Lightning are in a position where they're in hockey.
Right.
It's cup or bust. You're just so good that I don't care about regular season accolades. And I wonder where Red Sox fans are with that. It's like, this is great. We're not playing in a one-off wild card game like the Yankees. So, you could be done in 9 innings.
A few hours away.
So that's good. But, we've done this thing now. We won titles since the curse has been broken. So, it's great that we get a division, pennant that we could hang over the Yankees.
No,
and say, here we go.
Let's just win it all. Right.
Well, we got to win this damn
thing.
They're
plus 220. I just gave you the Orioles are minus 269. The Red Sox are plus 229 in run differential this year. As an aside, the American League East is ridiculous. And I've said it time and again, I'm going to say it again here. I really feel bad for the Tampa Bay Rays fans out there and just the folks down there in St. Pete who go to those games, who actually do go to those games.
Right, 3,500 of them.
Yeah. I know a couple who love the Rays. And I feel bad for Kevin Cash, Florida State's own, because he's done an amazing job. The Rays are going to win 90 games and go nowhere. Dude. In that division where the best team, one of the best teams in history resides, and a Yankee team that spends $4 gazillion and has 97 wins.
I kid. I wonder how attendance has been the last 2 months, because they've been unconscious.
They've been incredible. They win every freaking night.
Yeah.
Pasted the Yankees' ass yesterday.
I hope they show up. How about the Phillies packing it in? I know Matthew knows this.
Called it a day.
Did you see the result of the series against Colorado?
Well, they've lost 7 straight. And the beauty is that they were playing Colorado, and I kept yelling, "Come on! Way to go, Phillies! All right, Rockies!" Who, by the way, here they sit. I mean, the impossible dream, Tom. I'm this close.
You are. They took the lead last night.
Yes, they did. They've won 6 straight.
Is their run differential back up to a positive number?
Plus 31. I really would like the Rockies to play the Phillies for more games.
Here's why they're plus 31. So if you're a Dodgers fan, you're like, thanks, guys.
Well,
really?
Yeah, that's the way the season goes.
10-1 on Monday night, the Rockies win. 10-3 on Tuesday night, the Rockies win. And then I don't know what's going on today, but last night, 14-0.
Oh, they're laying down.
The old 34-4. That's where they're getting their positive run differential.
The Pirates are going to finish with a better record than the Phillies, Tom, just so you know. I just thought I'd mention that. We have friends.
But if I'm a Dodgers fan, I'm going, man, can you try, please?
No. I'm forever a Phillies fan from here on out, man. I'm so proud of them. In fact, here we go. I didn't go back to check today's game.
I have no idea what's going on today. It's been about Ryder Cup.
I'm going to do it as soon as I get
They're
done
sleeping
with this.
over there, and I'm worried about if any Ryder Cup news is coming out.
Houston at Baltimore. Cue it up. Let's get these probables in, shall we?
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
Garrett Cole goes for the Stros. That's not good news for the Baltimore Orioles. Yeah, sure. Throw your ace. Go ahead. Great. What's one more loss?
This is a simulated game for him. What are we doing?
Some dude named David Hess starting for the Orioles. Who do you want to start tonight? Go with David Hess.
Do Hess gas stations exist anymore?
The big green trucks that we all had as kids?
Yeah. I haven't seen one in a minute.
I haven't I don't know. We didn't have them in Florida, did we?
They were in Tampa when I was growing up.
I
Sure.
don't remember them. I just remember all the mobiles. Texacos and mobiles.
Oh, yeah. Chevrons, too.
Yeah, a lot of chevrons. Braves, Mets, Julio Teheran, Jason Vargas. We got the Pirates and the Cubs, Trevor Williams, John Lester. Tigers, Twins, Francisco Liriano, Gabriel Moya. Indians, Royals, Josh Tomlin, Glenn Sparkman. Rangers, Mariners, Jurado and Gonzalez. And that's a look at those that shall reside on the bump. Tomorrow, Big Libations Friday edition of the program. Tonight, the Soccer Guys doing it up right after this show concludes, which means now. Hey, the Soccer Guys, good show. I talk about it every time. I really enjoy that show.
Coverage of Rams and Vikings begins at 8 p.m. The Thursday night game always starts at 8 for pregame coverage. Monday night, 7:30. So there you go.
Got it. Good work out of you, sir. Good work, Matthew. Be well, everybody. Have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.